So I'm gonna let you have what I get for it. And then he called me. He said, "Are you really going to do that and give it to your granddaughter?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I just looked it up just for shits and giggles." He said that gun's worth about $2,200 right now. I said, "Well, one of these days you can sell some bitch."
Everything is broadcasting officially.
Well, this some bitch is tight, and it's 97%. Because I had a guy who grades guns graded. That's where it's at. One of these days, Bex can sell it. When Grandpa gets old and decrepit.
I don't have any. No, I'm waiting.
Her damn Energizer bunny ran off again.
Double A's. I think Jennifer's getting them, Brady. Here she's Brady. We're good. You are my hero.
Make sure you tell everybody you know.
I will. I'm gonna get you a shirt.
That's right. Jenny's my hero.
Oh. Okay, y'all. It's go time.
I don't know where you pin back yet.
Test one. Yep.
We're good. I'm ready when you are, boss. No. This is all you. I just work here. They want to hear your voice.
Yes, 1, 2. All right. Thank everybody for coming. We're fixing to get started. We'll get you out here as fast as we can. We got a pretty good little run of them. We had lots of them last night. We'll have another horse sale here the third Wednesday. Call in Monday at noon. If you got any horses you want to consign, you can start consigning them this Monday at noon. We're going to sell the donkeys. There's some mares with mule colts. We're going to sell right behind the donkeys, and then all the mules, and then we'll start on that big set of draft horses and go right down the line. There is no guarantee. You hook him, he runs off, he bucks you off, he limps, he's one-eyed, he still belongs to you. Bring him back next month and we'll resell him. There is no guarantees. Period. Thank everybody for staying with us for 2 days. We'll have another 2-day sale in August.
Boonville Saturday.
Boonville Saturday. We got a special. We have 3 or 4 specials here at Boonville, Missouri with Jones Brothers. We got a horse sale Saturday, 10 o'clock on the tack, 1 o'clock on the horses at Boonville, Missouri. Right up the highway here.
If you're really bored, you can come to Mountain View.
And Springfield's next Friday. Jones, Oklahoma every Thursday, and the second Saturday of next month horse sale. Here's Big Ed.
All right, we're going to start with one of the littlest ones in the barn. This is Penelope. She is 3 weeks old. She's a little Jenny. She is full of energy, curiosity, loves nothing more than attention and affection. She'll follow you around like a dog. She's very capable of stealing anyone's heart. For my folks on the internet, if you happen to be the lucky winner of Penelope tonight, she must be picked up tonight because she is on the bottle. She is now on the bucket. Very good. They've got formula here for her, ready to go. Cute as a button. Everyone who's been around her said she is a doll.
He has a little self Penelope right there. Come on here. 400, 500. You get 500. You're going to be a 500 now. 500. You're going to be a 500 now. 500. I'm going to 4, 5. You're going to be a 500. I'm going to 5, 6. I'm going to be.
Took it on the floor back.
Now he. And now he. Now 9.
That's we're out.
It's 9. Now 10. Now 11. Said that thing will follow you around like a little dog. So they got lots of videos of old Penelope. $1,000, 1,100. $1,100. Brady's way. Brady.
Back of 16. We're going to go to the back of 16.
That's going to your house, Grandpa. Holy smoke, look what she did.
What's the number?
Yep, number 421 is going to be a mama with a little Jack colt. He was born Sunday morning, the 18th of May.
Can you put him right there in the back of 16?
$1,000, 12 and a half, and now 1,500, hit it now 17 and a half, hit it now $2,000 now 2 and a half, hit it 22 and a half, now 5, hit it 25 here, 3 and a half. And now 4 and a half, hit it 24 and a half, hit it 4 and a half, hit it 3 and a half, 4 and a half. Here's 24 and a half, hit it 4 and a half, hit it 3 and a half, now 4 and a half, hit it 4 and a half, hit it 3 and a half, 4 and a half. Here's 24 and a half, hit it 3 and a half, now 4 and a half, now 5 and a half, hit it 25 and a half. Here's 25 and a half, hit it 4 and a half, now 5 and a half, hit it now 6 and a half, hit it now 7 and a half. Here's 27 and a half, hit it 6 and a half, now 7 and a half, hit it 27 and a half, hit it 6 and a half, now 7 and a half. I have sold them 26.50, 361. Little padded sale, if you please.
Oh my God, so cute.
We'll go to the back of 16 with this one. Back of 16, back of 16.
It was good when I started. Both of these are babies out of that Jenny.
I need their numbers.
444 and 45.
44 is the Jack and 45 is the Jenny.
That's mama's 2-year-old Jenny baby. The 45 is? Yeah, bigger. 445 is a 2-year-old Jenny baby out of that Jenny we just sold. Sell the Jenny. 800, 900, 100, 900, 8, 9 now, half now, 10, 10, Johnny boy, 9 and a half, 10. Here, 10, 10, 10, 9, 10, now, 10, 9, now, 10, I'm 9 to 10, 10, 9, now, $1,000 here, 9 to 1,000, $1,000 here, half now, 11, yeah, almost 5. 10 and a half, 11. Is that where you're at, Cactus? 10 and a half, now 11. 10 and a half, now 11.
Yeah.
Now half, and now 12. 11 half, 12.
You're both out.
11 half, 12. 11 now half, and now 13. And now
We're out again.
13, 12 and a half, 1300, 12 and a half, 13. Here I have. Sold at $12.50, put it on $3.72. Now sell that little yearling. $300, $400. Hit it 3, 4. I'm gonna bump over the bit of the day, I'm gonna bump 3 to the bit now, 4 to the bit of the day, 3 to the 4, 5, bit of the day, 5 to the bit of the day, 4 to the 5 now, 6, hit it to the day, 6 to the bit now, 7. Hit 7 now, 8, hit it to the day, 7 to the now, 8, 8 to the day, 7 to the now, 8, 8, 8, 8, hit it to the day, 7 to the now, 8. Hit 7, 8, 8 to the bit of the day, 7 to the day now, 8 to the bit of the day, 7 to the now, 8 to the day, 800, here I have 700, put it on landing.
No help.
He said, hey, wait a minute, I'm busy.
Remember, what is it? For what?
Need the tag number.
For what? 77. Oh, I have nothing. Okay.
There's a whole set of these little minis. $1,000, 1,100, hit it now 12, 11, now 12, now 13, now 14, 14, now 15, now 1600, and now 17, 18, Cactus, 18, 17, now 18, 17 and a half, 18, now half, another 18 and a half, another 18 and a half, Cactus, another 18 and a half, and now 19, hit it 19, Sammy boy, I'm about 19. 18, 19, Sam, you're out. 19, 19, 18, 19, and a half, now 19, 19, now half. And now half, now 2, hit it 2 times over, hit it 19 and a half, now 2 times over, hit it 2 times over, here I have. Making a bag, hit it now half, hit it 2 times over, now half, hit it number of thank you for what you did do, 2 times over, now half, hit 2 times over, now half, hit it 2 times over, now half, here I have. Solar 2,000, put on 360.
Number. Thank you.
Hey, there's a little bitty Jenny. $1,000, $1,100, $1,200 down, $1,300 $1,300 down, $1,400 $1,400 down, $1,500 down, $1,500 down, $1,400 down, $1,500 $1,500, $1,400 down, $1,500 $1,400 down, $1,500 14 and a half, 1,500 now, half, 15 and a half, 1,500 now, half, 1,500 now, half, here I have 1,500, 372.
Then we're gonna go to 21. 21, 2-1 after that one.
She's bagged up
Gonna fold.
and gonna have a baby any time. Get you a basket ready. $1,000, 12 and a half, 1,500 now, 17 and a half, $2,000, 2 and a half, now 5, 25, 22 and a half, 5, 3, 4, minimum 5. 25, 4, now 5, 6, 7, 27, 27 now, 8 now, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 29, 28, 9, 28, 9, now 3, now 1, 31, 31, semis out again, 31, now 1, I'm 3 down now 1, 31, 3 now 1, a half. Now 2, now 32, now 2, now 2, 1 half, now 2, 31 and a half, now 2, 1 and a half, now 2, a half, 31 and a half, 31, 372.
Same way, 21, same way, 2-1.
475. Thank you.
475 is the one to get.
Little Jack.
$200, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 3, you say 3 now, half now, 4, I'm gonna 4, 3, but now 4, I'm 3, but now 4, I'm 350, 4, 3, but now 4, now half, 4 and a half, now 5 now. 5, 5 and a bit, ma'am. Now half, sir. 5 and a half, 5 and a bit, 5 and a bit, 5 and a half, 5 and a bit, 5 and a half, 5 and a half, 5 and a bit, 5 and a bit, now 5 and a half. 500, 310.
Donkey markets and profits.
120. 120. You know what?
Little mini Jenny. $1,000, 1,100. $1,000 now, 1,100 here now, 12 and now 13, 13, now 14, now 1,500 now 1,600, 1,600 now 17, 17, now 17. It's 17, 1,700. You want to give a half, 1,600 now, half here now 17, and now 17, 1,600 now 17, 1,600 now 17, now half, and now 18, 1,800, 17 and a half, now 18, 1,800 here I have 17 and a half, 372.
21, 220.
And there's 4 of these guineas, man, had them with this goats. They're all supposed to be bred, have colts in the middle of something.
Have summer colts, guys, and they all been running with the sheep and the goats.
Go ahead, Jenny,
$300, 3 and a half. It's 3 and a bit now, half now, 4, minimum 3, but now half, and now 5, and now 4, and now 5, and a bit of the 5. It's 4 and a half, 5, and now a bit of 5, and a bit of the 4, and now 5, and a bit of the 4, and now 5, and now half, and now 6, and a bit of 600, bam, and a bit of 600, and now half, and a bit of 6 and a half, and a bit of 600 now, half, and a bit of 600 now, half, 5. Solar 600, 310.
Where is that set of mini donkeys that came yesterday? They need to get in here. They were first ones advertised.
Ma'am, this is your show, not mine.
It's not.
I
I'm
just
not
work
back here.
Ma'am, I just work here, ma'am.
Hey, good smooth Jenny right here.
Thank you.
Big Jens.
Great.
$300, $400, $500, $100, 4, 5, 5, 4, now 5 on a big Jenny, 4, 5, 4, 5, 5, 4, now half, 4, 4, now 5, now half. 5 and a half, now 5 and a half, 5 and a half, 5 and a half, 5 and a half, 5, 5, 50, 5 and a half, 5 half. Over 500 for around 1070. There's a pretty Jenny right there. 354 and now half, half, hit it four to now, half, hit it four to now, four and a half, hit it four to now, half, hit it now, five, hit it now, half, hit it 5.5, now 6, and now half, hit it now, half, hit it now, half, and now 7, hit it now, 7, I'm over there now, 6.5, 7, 8, 6.5, now 7, 7, 650, 310.
120, 120, 120.
479. Good little Jenny. Great.
$300, $400, $500, minimum 4, 5, $4 and a half, $5, $4 and a half, $5, $6, half, 600, 1070.
121, 121, 121.
468. Jenny down 50. Great.
Pretty good gin there, $300, 3 and a half. Here now 4, hit it over a bit of 3, hit it down over a bit of 3, hit it down over. Been running with a little blackjack. 350, 4, I'm gonna bump over a bit now, half, and a little bit, 4 and a half now, 5, and a little bit, 5, and a bit, 4 and a half now, 5, and a bit now, half, and a little bit now, 6, and a little bit, 5, and a half now, 6, and a bit, I'm gonna bump 6, 6, and a little bit, 5, and a half now, 6, and a bit, I'm gonna bump 600, I'm gonna bump 5, and a bit, 600, I'm gonna bump 600, 550, 10, 70. You finally get your dad out of bed. It's an all day job, wasn't it?
Good Jenny. Great.
Pretty Jim. Need the tag
Need the
number.
tag numbers.
477.
Thank you.
Great.
$300, half, and a down 4, and a 3 and a half now, 4 and a bit now, half, and now 5, and a bit, 5, and a bit, and a half, and a bit now 6, and a bit, 6, and a bit, and now half, and a bit, 6, and a 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 now half, 600, 310.
120, 120, 120.
Belly down. 469.
So this one here has been known to have twins. Just missed it by one. Boy, $300, 3 and a half, and now 4. I'm gonna bump over a bit, 4 and a bit now, half, and now 5, and a bit, 5 and a bit now, half, and now 6, and a bit, 6 and a bit. 5 and a half, 6, and a bit, 6 and a bit, 5 and a half, now 6. Man, you want in here now, half. I'm 600 now, half, and a bit, 6 and now, half, and a bit, 6 and now, half, here, half. 6, 6 and a half. Your way 600. 372.
21, 21, 21.
Or what, 50?
Hey,
Same height.
hey, look what color he is.
Same
He's
height.
he's a cherry red sorrel. Did you call Courtney? Boys, you need to talk to her about that. She's been wanting one. $200, 2 and a half, and now 3, and now half, 3 and a half, now 4. I'm gonna bump over a bit of the video 3, but now 4 and a bit. I'm gonna bump over a bit of the video 3, but now 4, now half, and a video 4 and a half, and a video 4 and a bit now half. I'm 4, 4 and a half, now 5, and now you say 5, 7 now half, and a video 5 and a half. 5, 5 and a half, bam, and a video 5 and now 6, and a video 5 and now 6 and a bit. I'm gonna bump 6. And now half, and now half, and now 7. It's 7. Down, but I'm going to have to get a bigger order. 6 and a half, 7. And 6 and a half, 7. 650, 310.
120, 120, 120.
Whoa.
And there's a whole set of 2 big Jennies. And this is the Jack.
This is the Jack.
All of them have been necking.
They've been necking donkeys.
And they're all gentle. And this Jack, I think, is 2 years old.
We'll say he's just a young donk.
Great.
$300. He's a baby. $300, $400, hit 3, 4, number of hold a bit of the three to the down gone, hit a bit of 3 to the now, hold a bit of the 4 to the number 5, hit a bit of 5, a bit of 4, 5, hit a bit of 5, a bit of 5, hit 4 and a half, hit a bit of 4 to the now, high, here now, 5, hit a bit of 5, a bit of 4, number 5, hit a bit of 5, a bit 455, hit a bit of 5, a bit number 5, a bit a half, sold him 450, pretty much, Brady.
$71,
Jenny, she's
Should be
free.
on the same
3 years old, and Jenny, it looks like to me she's gonna have a baby. $400, $500, hit 4, 5, hit it now 6, hit it 6, they've all been running with the paint jack, and it 500 down, 600 down, minimum 600 down, 700, 600 down, 700 down, minimum 600 down, 700, 600 down, 700, I'm 600, 700, hit it 700, 600 down, 700, 600, 310.
120, 120.
It went and done it? Uh-oh. She done went and did it.
She almost had twins too. 40 jack on her side.
Sell that family right there. 600, 700 for the whole family. Now 8, hit 7, 8, hit it, 700 now, 800, 700 now, 800 down, 700 now, 800, 7 half, 700 now, half. I'm 700 now, half, and now who said yeah, 100 now, half, and now 800 now, half, and 8 and a half, 800, 8 and a half, and now half, and now 8 and a half, and now half, by half. Sold them 800, Brady. Cactus.
$456, I believe.
125, 125, 125.
He's a John.
He'll be a burrow.
Cut jack.
Burrow.
Extremely gentleman neck, using it for this showcase, and
He's a neck and dome.
Good age. Come on,
$300, $400, hit half, hit it, 300 now, 3 and a half, hit it, 300 now, 3 and a half, hit it, 300 now, half, hit it, 3 and a half, hit it, 300 now, 3 and a half, hit 3 and a half, I got a man, hit it, 300 now, half, hit it, 300 now, 3 and a half, hit it, 300 down, 300 now, half, quarter, half, now 75, and now quarter, and now quarter, but about quarter, I have 400, donkey on donkey. 9-year-old Jenny been running with a spotted jack. $300 half, hit 3 and a half, 5 months bred. To a good bigger spotted jack. $300, 3 and a half, hit it now 4. I'm gonna bump over a bit of 3 and a half now 4 a bit. I'm gonna bump over a bit of 3 now 4 a bit. I'm gonna bump 4. Hit 4, man. What about you? Now half. Hit it out 5. Hit it 4 and a half now 5. Hit it 5. Hit it 5. Hit it 4 and a half now 5. Hit it 5. Hit it 5. Hit it 5. Hit it 4 and a half now 5. Hit it 5. 450, 1070.
121.
Ernie, there's a whole little set of spotted ones that were tagged like 401 to 405, little ones. No, we didn't. The ones that came yesterday. So those were them? They just had high tech. Thanks.
Hey, he's coming 3 years old and he is a mammoth jack. Said he stands 14 too. He ain't never been asked.
He's out of world champion bloodline. I don't have no paper on him. I got the man's phone number. He comes from.
He's got world champion lines in him, guys. He said he can give you the man's phone number and raise him. Something you don't find every day anymore in
What's
Mammoth
his number?
Jack.
Did you get his number? We
6 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 8 and a half, 8 and a half, 9 and a half, 10 and a half, 10 and a half, 11 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 and a half, and now 12 and a half, now 13 and a half, and now 14 and a half, now 15 and a half, and now 16 and a half, 16 and a half, 16 and a half, I'm 15 and a half, 16 and a half, 17 and a half, 17 and a half, now 18 and a half, now 19 and a half, 19 and a half, 2 and a half, 1 and a half, here's 21 and a half, 2 and a half, 1 and a half, 21 and a half, here's 2 and a half, 21 and a half, 2 and a half, now 1 and a half, 2 and a half, 1 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, here's 22 and a half, 21 and a half, 2 and a half, 22 and a half, 1 and a half, now 2 and a half, here's now who said yeah, now 3 and a half, 23 and a half, now 4 and a half, 4 and a half, 24 and a half, here's 24 and a half, now 5 and a half, 5 and a half, 4 and a half, now 5 and a half, 5 and a half, here's 24 and a half, 5 and a half, 6 and a half, now 7 and a half, 47 and a half, 8 and a half, where you gonna go find one you can buy for 27 and a half or 8 and a half? 27 and a half, 8 and a half, and he's a baby. 27 and a half, 8 and a half. Here's 28 and a half, 7 and a half, now 8 and a half, 28 and a half, 7 and a half, now 8 and a half. Did you haul him in the 4-horse slant in the stock trailer? 27 and a half, 8 and a half. Here's 28 and a half, 7 and a half, now 8 and a half, 8 and a half, 7 and a half, now 8 and a half, 28 and a half. Here I have, bless you on my kin, 28 and a half. Your way, Johnny, 27.50. 676. Said it takes 3,200 for him while he's here.
Nope, and you back.
Thank you.
That donkey come out there on Dennis, he's been packed in the mountains and then old man rode.
Said he's been packed in the mountains and been an old man riding. $300, 3 and a half. He's a burro. Headed to the video, now half. Here's 3 and a half, 4. I'm going to mumble over the video, 3 and a half, 4. I'm going to mumble 3 and a half, now 4. I'm going to mumble over the video, 3 and a half, now 4. I'm 3 and a half, 4. Headed to the video, 4. Headed to the video, 3 and a half, 4. Now half. Headed to the video, now 5. Headed to the video, 5. Headed to the video, 4 and a half, now 5. Here's 5. Headed to the video, 4 and a half, now 5. Headed to the video, 5. Headed to the video, 4 and a half, now 5. I'm going to mumble half, now half. Here's 5 and a half. Headed to the video, 5. Headed to the video, now 5 and a half. Headed to the video, 5. Headed to the video, 5 and a half. Sold him 500. 393.
481.
79, 79, 79.
Breaking Jack.
Said he'll be a breeding jack. Breed a mare or a jenny or a hedge post and make toothpicks. $200, $300, hit 2, 3, hit a little bit, 3 little bit, 2 little bit, now 3 little bit, 2 little bit, now 3 little bit, 2 and a half, hit a little bit, 2 little bit, now 2 and a half, hit 2, 2 and a half, hit a little bit, 2 little bit, now 2 and a half, hit a little bit, 2 little bit, now half, hit a little bit, 2 little bit, now 2 and a half, hit a little bit, 2 little bit, now 2 and a half, I'm 2, 2 and a half. Said they had babies out of him this year. $200, 2 and a half, hit 2, 2. Check his teeth. $300, 3 and a half, or $200, 2 and a half, hit a little bit, 2 little bit, now 2 and a half, hit a little bit, 2 little bit, now 2 and a half, now 3, hit a little bit, 3 little bit, 2 but now 3 little bit, 2 but now 3 little bit, 2 but now 3 little bit, 3 little bit, 2 but now 3 little bit, I have sold him 215 number 394.
88, 88.
We got another Jack that Gordon Murray's got.
This is mares and mule babies. Oh boys, pay attention here. I got mine picked out. And he is just like a week old, I think.
Title is in hand.
Paperwork and all on the mares in
Hang
there,
on
guys.
1 second. Let me
Big Jack came right quick, two babies out of right behind. We're going to sell the Myers and then we'll sell that Jack.
Sell that little family right there. You talk about a cracking good baby. $1,000, 12 and a half. $1,000 now, 12 and a half. $1,000 now, 12 and a half. $1,000 now, 12 and a half.
Turn that baby around. That's a good baby, guys.
$1,000 now, 1,100.
That is a good mule baby.
I promise you. $1,000, 1,100. Hit it to the 11, $11, Hit $1,000, 1,100. Hit it to the now half. Hit it to the now half. Hit it to the now half. Hit it to the half. Hit $1,000 now half. Hit it to the half. Hit it to the half. Only $1,000 pretty on 314. Nope. 313.
126, 126, 126.
Is this the gray one? Uh-oh. Red roll.
26.
Got a mare mule baby. She's a line back done. Look at the wishbones down her shoulders. $1,000, 12 and a half. Hit $1,000 now, 12 and a half. Hit $1,000 now, 12 and a half. 1,100. I'm gone. Hit $1,000 now, 1,100. Hit $1,000 now, 1,100 here. Hit $1,000 now, 1,100. Hit $1,000 now, 1,100. Hit $1,000 now, 1,100. Hit $1,000 now, 1,100. Hit $1,000, 1,100. Hit $1,000 now, 1,100. Hit $1,000 now, 1,100. Hit $1,000 now, 1,100. Hit $1,000 half now, 1,100 now, half. Hit $1,000 11 half. 1,100 now, half. Come on, you know better. 1,100 now, half. 1,100 now, half. 11 half now. You talking to me? 11 half now, 12. Hit 12. Hit 11 now, 12. Hit 11 now, 12. Hit 11 now, 12. Hit 12. Hit 8. Sold 11, 15 less. What's that number? 1059.
Title.
Here's the paperwork on it.
She's gonna go to 127, 127. Should be empty.
Now there's the pick of the litter right there.
She's got a horse mule baby, there's a good pair right there. You got 1,000 in the money.
$1,000, 1,500. Hit $1,500. Hit $1,000 now, half. Hit $1,000 now, half. Half. Hit $1,000 now, half. Hit $1,000 half. Hit $1,000 now, half. Hit $1,000 half. Hit $1,000 now, half. Hit $1,000 now, half. Half. Hit $1,000 now, half. Hit $1,000 half. Hit $1,000 now, half. Hit $1,000 now, half. Hit $1,000 half. $1,000, pretty on donkey.
$76, 76, 76.
Jack is 6 years old. That couple them there.
That Jack is 6 years old. His name is Remus. $400, $500. Hit 4, 5, 6. Hit it now 7. Hit it now 8. Hit it now 9. Hit it now 10. Hit it now 10. Hit it now 9. Hit it now 10. Hit it now 9. Hit it now $5. Hit it now 9. Hit it now 1,000. Hit $900, $10. Hit it now 9. Hit it now 10. Hit it now 9. Hit it now 10. Hit it now 1,000. Hit it now 1,000. Hit it now $10 here. And 9. Hit it now 10. Hit it now 10. Hit it now 9. Hit it now 10. Hit it now 1,000. Only 900. Pretty on number. Brady.
71 out of the ring, 71.
You gonna bring your quarter mares to him, Brady? Neighbors too? Carrying is sharing. Uh-oh.
Nellie and Button. Nellie is a 5-year-old quarter mare. Button is the baby. Button is 45 days old, gonna be a firecracker of a mule, should mature to 15 hands with lots of shape. Probably gonna be golden palomino when we're all done.
Things might be done, Bridget, but he's gotta have color. He's out of that mare, and that mare's just 5 years old. She's holding broke, she's working, there's Papa good go.
Good mule colt.
12 and a half, 1,500. Hit 1,500 here now. 17 and a half. Hit it now 2. Hit it 17 and a half now. $2. Hit it 17 and a half now 2. Hit 17 and a half 2. Hit it now 2 and a half. Hit it now 2 and a half. Hit it now 5. Hit it 25. I'm 2 and a half 5. Hit it 25. Hit it 2 and a half now 5. Hit it 22 and a half 5. Hit 22 and a half 5. Hit it 5. Hit it 2 and a half now 5. Hit it. And that's for the whole family.
Yeah, and she's 5 years old and open and worth 1,000 more than you got on the family so far.
22 and a half 5. 22 and a half now 5. 22 now 5. 22 and a half now 5. 3 and a half. 23 and a half. I'm 22 and a half, now 3 and a half, 3 and a half, 2 and a half, now 3 and a half, 23 and a half, I have. Said he better not do that.
That is a good baby. That baby is going to be golden palomino too. 410.
410 is going to be Jose, a 12-year-old John Mule, been ridden in the mountains on hunting trips. A pretty mule, stand 14 hands.
800, 900, 900, 900, 900, 8, 9, now 10, 9, now 10, 809. Only made 100, pretty much. Jerry? I didn't know he was a mule man.
128, 128, 128.
416.
What about him, Gordy?
6-year-old mammoth jack.
He's 6 years old. He's mammoth.
Man, not even. He bred 4 mares good. They said that would be enough mules to last phase, so he didn't need it.
Said they bred 4 mares to him. They got a whole info and didn't need the big mammoth no more. 700, 800, 800, 800, 1400. I'm 1300, 14, 15, now 16, now 17, now 18, now 19, 1900, 1800, now 1900, 1800, now 1900. There's a damn good donkey, what he is. 1800, 1900, 1900, 1800, 1900, 1800, 1900, 1900, I have. Sold him 1800. Cheeseburger.
The one and only.
78, 78, 78.
What's that number?
407.
This is a Wrangler. He is a 9-year-old John Mule. Fancy broke. He'll one-step low, turn around. He's been trail ridden all over Tennessee. Wrangler's gentle fit. Anyone's program, 9 years old.
Said if you can get up there, you can ride him and be sound and gentle.
Got brand new shoes on, ready to go.
800, 900, 800, 900, now 1,000, now half, you're out, now half. It's now 11, now 11, I'm 10, 15, 1100 here, I have. Said it takes more dough.
This one's a no sell, he'll finish it, but
412 will be Nora, 5-year-old Molly. She'll stand 15'3", as wide as she is tall, been trail ridden and packed all over.
Hey, yeah, I brought 4 mules up today. These are some of the nicest mules I feel. I brought these guys. They'll be gentle. They all come off the same place. They never left this house. We raised them all. They'll be good, quiet mules.
They're homegrown guys, and Kristen said every one of them be a big quiet mule. 2,500, 27 and a half. Here's 25 and now 7 and a half, 6 now, 7, now 8, now 9, 10, now 3, 3, 29 now 3, 3, 29 now 3, and now 1, 31, Randy Boy, 31. Tristan, how old are you? 5 years old. 31, hit 31, now 2, now 3, 33, Randy Boy, 3, now 4, 34, now 5. Hit 35, hit a over the now 5, 34 now 5, 5, hit 34 now 5, over the now 5, 34 now 5, over the now 5, hit 35 here, 4, 5 now 6, I got a new man, 35 now 6, hit 35 now 6, 35 now 6, 36 here, 5, now 6, 35 now 6, sold the mule 3,500. Put him on Jerry. Watch that little one's head going out that door.
Or 128, 128, 128.
Yep, number 409 is going to be Ray. He is a 13-year-old John Mule. He'll stand 16 hands. He's broke to ride, drive, and pack. He is super safe, and he is beginner-proof.
Big buckskin mule. 500, 600, hit 500 now, 600 down, but about 500 now, 600 down, but about 500 now, 600 down, but about 500 now, 600 here, hit 500 now, 700 now, 800 now, big buckskin mule, 700 now, 8 now, tight, 8 9 here, hit a little bit down, 800 down, 900 down, 900 down, tight, I'm 800 now, 900 down, 900 now, 11, Johnny, I'm 1100. 1,100, 1,000, 1,100, 1,200, 11, now 12, 11, now 12, 11, now 12, 11, 12, 12, 11, now 12, 11, sold him 1,100. 10, 12.
129, 129.
413 is Donkey, a 7-year-old John Mule. Stand around 15 hands, gentle and a fun mule. Been ridden and packed in the mountains. A big, nice mule, got a great temperament.
Said he's good to catch and good to be around now. 2,500, $3,000, hit it at 25 and now, $3,000, hit it at 25 and now, $3,000, hit it at 25, hit it at 35, and now. Broke to work too, $3,000 now, 2.5, hit 30, 2.5, now 5, hit it at 35, hit it at 2.5, now 5, hit it at 7.5, hit it at 35, now 7.5, hit 37.5, hit it at 5, hit it at 7.5, hit it at 35, now 7.5, hit it at 37.5, I'm 35, 7.5, hit it at 37.5, hit it at 5, hit it at 7.5, hit it at 35, now 7.5, 36, hit it at 5, hit it at 35, now 6. Be gentle, gentle, gentle. 35, 6, hit it at 36 here, hit it at 5, hit it at 36, hit it at 36, but I'm 5, hit it at 36, but I'm 5, hit it at 6, hit 36 here, hit it at 5, hit it at 36, hit it at 30, hit it at half. Said he better not do it.
No sell, he'll get him back.
Next one's 414.
414 is going to be Gus, a 10-year-old John Mule, standing 14-2, used for trail riding and riding down the road.
8.5, 9.5, hit it at 9.5, hit it at 8.5, 9.5, hit it at 9.5, hit it at now 10, hit it at 10, hit it at 10.5, hit it at 9.5, 10.5. Hit 10.5, hit it at 10.5 here, how old is he? 10.5, 10 years old, 10.5, 10.5, 11.5, Johnny Boy, 11.5, 10.5, 11.5, 11.5, hit it at 11.5, hit it at 11.5, 11.5, hit it at 11.5, hit it at 11.5, hit 10.5, 11.5, hit it at 11.5, hit it at 10.5, hit it at 11.5, 10.5, 11.5, so leave 10, 15, bring on Adam.
408.
Hip number 408's Maureen. She's got a video playing now. She's 5 years old and a 13-hand Molly mule. People-oriented, follows everyone around, loves having her ears scratched. She'll pick up all her feet, been trimmed by the farrier, loads of trailers, been ponied on the trail rides, climbs and crosses anything. She is very athletic, good with the saddle and saddlebags. Started under saddle with no problem having a rider. No offer to buck, kick, or rear. They've done some ground driving as well.
$400, $500, hit it to the 4, I'm going, hit it to the 4 to be now 5, here, hammer them on 4, hammer them on 5, half now 5, hit it to the 4 and a half now 5, 4 and a half, 5, now half, now 6, hit it to the 5 and a half now 6, good 6, hit it to the 5 and a half now 6, hit it to the 6, hammer them on 5 and a half now 6, hammer them on 5 and a half now 6, hammer them on 6, I'm 5 and a half, 6, hit it to the hammer them on 6, hit it to the now half, hit it to the 6, now half, 5, 5, hit it to the 6 and a half. I'm 600 down, high to the video, now high to the number of now 7 to the video, 7. It's 7, Jerry boy. I'm going to bump the handle, 700, but I'm taking the handle, 700, but I'm 7. 650, pretty much Adam.
Same way on this one, 201, same way, 201.
I think she said 415.
415 is Johnny. He is a 15-hand gated John Mule, and he's been trail ridden everywhere. He's got a shake the bridle reins walk, super friendly, loves people. He'll stand perfect for you to mount from the ground or a block. Clip, baits, shoot with ease. A nice mule for the whole family.
Catch him anywhere you find him, guys.
You get up there and hold them reins, you can ride.
Said if you can get up there and hold him reins, you can ride him. There's a fancy mule. You can open and shut every gate in this barn.
Don't live nothing wrong, good mule. 3,000, you got a man there.
3,000, 32 and a half. Yeah, 3 times under now, 2 and a half. 32 and a half. There's a saddle mule. 3 times under now, 2 and a half. Yeah, 3 times under now, 2 and a half. 3 times under now, 2 and a half. 3 times under now, 2 and a half. 31. 3 times under now, 1. I'm 30. Bobby said if you take him outside and ride him, you don't like everything about him, you can just hand him right back to her. 3,000, 31. 31. Yeah, 3 times under now, 1. 31. 3 times under now, 1. 31. 3 times under now, 1. 31. I'm 3 times under now, 1. 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 3 times under now, 1, hit it to the 31, hit it to the 3 times under now, 1 to the 8. Sold him 3,000. Max Bishop.
We're gonna go in the back of 200, the back of 200.
416.
416 is Beth, a 12-year-old Molly. She'll be 15 one hands tall. A safe, gentle Molly, been used for trails and mountain riding, and she'll ride one-handed. 12 years old.
1,500, 17 and a half, 1,500 now, 17 and a half, 1,500 now, 17 and a half, and 1,500 now, 17 and a half, 17 and a half, 1,500 now, 17 and a half, 17 and a half here, 1,500 now, 17 and a half, 16, 1,500 now, 1,600, and 1,500 now, 1,600, 1,600, sold her 1,500, 313.
126, 126.
Wilbert is a 14-year-old John Mule. He'll stand 16 hands. He rides gentle and he works single and double. 14 years old.
Where's Brandy pull you, Matt?
He's generally come that black and white horse Jeff sold in here last night. He said he had been rode 3 or 4 years, and they sadly went back to riding. He's gentle. We had him run every week, comes everywhere. I pick up every foot on him. He's a nice one.
Said he'd be a nice big mule. 1,500, 17 and a half. 1,500 now, 17 and a half. 1,500 now, 16 now, 17 now, 18, 18, 18, 19, 19, 19, 18 now, 19 now, 2. Hit 2, I'm right up first where I'm at. 19 now, 1. 2, now 3. 3 now, Yeah, 22 now, 3 to the minute, 2 to the minute now, 3 to the minute, 22 now, 3 to the minute, 3. I'm 22, 3, hit to the minute, 3. We're out, my friend, 23. Hit to the minute, 3 to the minute, 2 to the minute now, 3 to the minute, 22 now, 3. Yeah, 23, hit to the minute now, 4. I'm 24 now, 5, hit to the minute, 25. Yeah, 4, 5, hit to the minute. How old was he, Jeff? 14 years old. 24, 5.
I crawled around underneath and scraping the mud off of something. But there's more to beat that.
He said he'll be gentle. 24, 5. Yeah, 25. Hit it to hold it in now, 5. Hit it to hold it in now, 5. Hit it to 24 now, 5. Hit it to 5. Hit it to hold it in now, 5. Hit it to drop you on the end. Hit it to 24, 5. Yeah, 24 now, 5. Hit it to hold it in now, 5. Hit it to 24 now, 5. Hit it to 5. Now 6. Now 7. Now 8. 28, 29, $3,000 now 1, 31, 33, now 1, 33, now 1, yes, sir.
I could get my back up there and ride him myself, but I had a hard time. But he's that gentle. I'll get on him and ride him. I rode him in half. He's just be like Jeff.
Be just like Jeff tells you. Charlie said he'll lope right out of his tracks and sit down and put you down the settle of 11. $3,000, 31. Half 31. Golden 3,000. Put him on cheeseburger. Thank you, Jeffrey.
You watch that video that's playing now, hip 418. This is Holly. Holly has been her working mount for the last 6 months. She's used her at the exotic sales, pushing cattle, zebras, camels, and ostrich. She is not scared of anything. She never shies away from a job. She'll side pass. She'll one-step lope off back, pivot on her haunches, been roped on in the box and in the pasture. She'll be safe for absolutely anyone. She isn't a mule on the ground. She's an absolute doll, 100% sound in every way. Again, watch that video. Yes, Caitlin's got 3 here today. The 3 they have here today are their personal animals they've had. They've not just been, from one place to another. They've had them around and they have seen some things.
At that exotic sale, they see stuff that a lot of people don't see. And all 3 of them I have today go with my number and they're sure enough okay.
Yep, you'll get Caitlin's phone number when you get one of hers today. They'll be okay in every way. Watch the video.
22 and a half height, hit 25, hit now 7 and a half, and now 3, hit 3, 27 and now 2 and a half, and now 5, hit 35, hit 32 and a half height, hit 35, 32 and a half, now 5, 35, 32 and a half, now 5, hit 32 and a half height, 3 and a half, hit 33 and a half. I'm 30, now 4 and a half, and now 5 and a half, and now 6 and a half, and 36 and a half. It's 35 and a half, 6 and a half, and now 7 and a half, and now 8 and a half, and now 9 and a half, and 39 and a half. I'm 38 and a half, 9 and a half, and 8 and a half, now 9 and a half, and 38 and a half, now 9 and a half, and 39 and a half, 4,000 and a half. Yep, 4,000 and a half, and 39 and a half. Pretty broke mule. 9 years old. 39 and a half, 4,000 and a half, 4,000 and a half, 39 and a half, now 4,000 and a half, 4,000 and a half, 39 and a half, now 4,000 and a half, 4,000 and a half. Yep, 4,000 and a half, 39 and a half, now 4,000 and a half, 4,000 and a half. Here I have. Sold a mule, 39.50.
Thank you.
388. Miss Teresa got her a new summer mount.
Thank you. I don't have notes on this one.
701, 701, 701.
What they tell you about this one, Joe?
Great.
Jim Bonner, Jim Bonner, he dropped him off here.
Belonged to Mr. Jim. Dropped him off here yesterday. $300, $400. I'm going. Hit it to the video, 3 to the bit and a half now, 4 now, half, 4 and a half. Hit it to the video, 4 to the bit now, 4 and a half. Hit it to the video, 4 to the bit, 4 and a half. Hit it to the video now, 5. Hit it to the video, 5 to the bit now, half. Hit 5, 5 and a half. Hit it to the video, 5 to the now, 5 and a half. Cash boy, but I'm 5 to the now, half. Hit 5, 5 and a half. Hit it. I see you and Grandpa going right. 5 to the now, half. Hit 5 to the now, half. Hit it to the video, 5 to the now, half. Hit 5 from there now, half. Hit it to the now, but I'm 5 to the bit, 5 and a half. Hit it to the video, 5 to the bit, 5 and a half. Hit it to the video, 5 and a half, 5 and a half. Hit 5, 5 and a half. Hit it to the video, 5 to the bit, 5 and a half. I have. 575, 600, 600, 600, 600, 600. Hit it at the day, 600, but about 75, now 600, but about down here. Now, quarter, 6 and a quarter, 6 and a quarter. You did say it, didn't you, Jerry? Hit it now, quarter, but about now, quarter now, quarter now, quarter. 600, pretty much, Jerry.
Goes by the name of Snowball.
It's hilarious, actually.
701. The one in the hole is gonna go
20.
128.
Salvador, his video is up now. He is a 5-year-old John Mule. He'll stand right at 13-1. He is the perfect size for the youth or the smaller adult. He trail rides the very best, easy to catch and handle, no funny business. He'll stand great for you to mount. He likes people. You point him and he will go. He'll have a one-hand neck rein and he'll ride with a crooper or a britchin.
You watch old Salvador ride around her, he don't never gap his mouth. Do anything you want to do on over him.
He'll stand right there for you, show him. He's got new shoes on, and if you can get up where you can ride Salvador. He's 5 years old.
5 years old. 2022 and a half. Here, 2 times now, 2 and a half. Bit of the video, 2 times now, 2 and a half. Bit of the video, 2 times now, 1 gone. Bit of the video, 2 times now, 1 now, 2. And now 3, hit it now 4, and put them 24, Jerry Boy, and put them 23, now 4, bit of the video 4, and 3, 4, 5, bit of the video 25, bit of the video 4, bit now 5, bit of the video 24, now 5, bit of the video 5, bit of the video 4, 5, 24 now 5, bit of the video 4, bit of the video 5, bit of the video 24 now 5, bit now 6, and now 26, bit of the video 5, bit now 6, bit of the video 25, now 6, bit of the video 6, 26, here, hit it of the yes ma'am. Bobby said, if you can get up there and hold them reins, she believes anybody can get along with that mule. Now 7, now 8, now 28, now 9, now $3,000. Hit it to the video 3, so you're out 3,000. Hit it to the video 3,000. Hit 3,000. Now 1. Hit it to the video 31. Hit it to the video 3. Hit it to the video 3. Hit it to the now 1. Hit it to the video 31. Here now 2. Hit it to the video 32. 31 now 2. Hit it to the video 31 now 2. Hit it to the video 31 now 2. Hit it to the video 1. Hit it now 2. Hit it to the video 31 now 2. Hit it to the video 8. So in 31 is at 1062, Brock. 1062.
422.
422 is Ringo. He is an 8-year-old John Mule Baroque 2 ride, been ridden on the Appalachian wagon train and all over North Georgia. 8 years old.
Hey, he belongs to my grandfather there. Briar's been riding. He'll be gentle and rope. Sound.
Hey, I had him one out there at the highway earlier today.
Said he was riding down I-44 there yesterday, or today.
Hey, good gentle music. Well, 600.
600, 700, hit it to the knees, hit it down, 700, but I'm on, gone, hit it to the knees, hit it down, 7, now, 8, 7.5, 8.5, hit it to the 8.5 here, 8.5, hit it to the 8.5, hit it to the 7, now 9.5, hit it to the 9.5, hit it to the 9.5, 8.5, 9.5, hit it to the 9.5, hit it to the 8.5, now 9.5, hit it to the 9.5, hit it to the 8.5, now 9.5, 8.5, 900, hit it to the 900. Said that'll sure enough be a good mule. Did you catch him? You'll be all right. 8.5, 900. Hit it to the 900. Put it down 900. Put it down 999. Put it down 900. Put it down 8 to 39. Hit it to the 900. Put it down 900. Put it down 900. Put it down 900. Somebody made 50 you wait. Yep.
No, Sal, he'll bring him back himself.
Hey,
Cyrus
big
is a
soggy mule.
Yeah, she is a 3-year-old Molly. She's 15 hands, been trail ridden and started packing. A good young mule, just a 3-year-old.
Coming out of that other mule, that other big brown mule there, won't you guys? 1,500, 17.5. 1,500 now, 17.5. Hit it now 2. Hit it 17.5 now 2. $10. Hit it 17.5 now 2. Hit 17.5 now 2. Hit it $2. Hit it 17.5. 18.5. Hit it 18.5. 18.5. Hit it 18.5. Hit it 17.5 now 18.5. Hit it 18.5. I'm 18.5. Hit it 17.5 now 18.5. Hit it 18.5. Hit it 17.5 now 18.5. Hit it 18.5. 18 and a half, now two, hit it $2,000, hit it 18 and a half, now two, now 19, now two, hit 19, now two, yes sir, Tristan. 19 now two, hit $2,000, hit it 1900 now $2,000, hit it 1900 now $2,000, hit it down, huh? 19 and a half now two, hit $2,000, hit it 19 and a half now $2,000, hit it 19 and a half now $2,000, hit it $2,000 here I have 19 and a half two, you say it 2,000 high up now one, now 21, hit it $2,000 now one, hit it 21. $2,000 now one, hit it $2,000 now one, hit it 21 high up. Over $2,000 less. $10.59.
At 424 is going to be Lil Kim, an 8-year-old 45-inch mare mule, rides and drives, been used by the Amish and has had plenty of road miles, 8 years old.
$300, 3 and a half. Hit 3 to the bid now, half, hit it to the now 4, and but 3, hit it down 4, hit it to the now half, hit it to the 4 and a half, hit it to the 4 to the bid now, half, hit it to the 4 to the bid now, half, hit it to the 4 to the bid now, half. Hit 4 and a half, hit it to the 4 to the bid, hit it to the 4 and a half, hit it to the 4 to the bid now, 4 and a half, hit it to the now half, hit it to the now quarter, half, 4 and a quarter, half now 75, hit it to the, come on, you started this 4 and a half, 75, and 4 and a half, 75, hit it to the 75, by. So be 450. 372 on one.
425 coming in is going to be Margaret. Her video is up now. She is a 7-year-old Molly, 16 hands. She's been trail ridden everywhere. Very, very gentle. She'll stand for you to mount. Good with her ears and her feet. Easy to catch. She loves people. She's been started heading the roping dummy. She'll go wherever you point her. Very nice Molly, 7 years old. Watch the video.
Ride her, saddle her up, get on her, and ride her off. You don't have to ride her, you can get on her bareback when she's laying down.
Bobby Joe said you can walk out there and get her when she's laying down bareback with nothing on it. Ride her. $3,500, $4,000, hit 400 now, 5, hit it to the 45, hit it to the 4,000 now, 5, hit it to the 4,000 now, 5, hit it to the 45, hit it to 1, 2, and now 3. Hit 43 now, 4 now, 5, hit it to the 45, hit it to the 44 now, 5, hit it now 6, hit it to the now 7, hit it to the 47, 47, you're out down low, and now 8, now 9, hit it to the 49, 48, 9, cheese, hit it to the 49, hit it to the down there, hit it to the down 9, 49 now, $5,000, hit it to now 1, hit it to the 51.
She won't be 10 or 12 or 9 when you get her, she'll be 8 years old. I don't know how many of you ever drug around one of them rope dummies, but there ain't nothing to bother. There's no kind of way you can ride her anywhere you want to go, and I'm going to sell her when you get done. If there's a mule, you bring all you want to get to one. If I was a mule trader, want to drift around somewhere, you might get a lot of money for her.
5,051 G's. Now 2. Hit a little 52. Now 2. You're out, sir. Hit a little 52. Hit 51. 2. Hit a little now 3. Hit a little 53. Now 3. Hit a little 52. Now 3. I'm 53 here. Hit a little 52. Now 3. Hit a little 53. 3. I'm about 2 to the bit. Now 3 to the bit. I'm about 3. 53. 52. 3 to the bit. I'm about 2 to the bit. Now 3 to the bit. 53. Sold a mule 5,200. Who was it? 1062.
Pay her that last little bay mule Brock bought.
I got it.
If number 430 is going to be a 10-year-old John Mule, broke to ride and pack.
702, 702.
500, 600, hit it at 500 now, 600 now, but about 500 bit now, 600 now, but about 500 bit no see. Hit 5, 6, hit it at 600 bit at 500 now, 600 bit at 500 now, 600 hit it at 500 now, 600 now, but about 500 now, see. Hit 5, 6, hit it at 600 bit now, but about 500 now, 600 here, half 6, hit it at 500 now, see. and now half, and another 6 and a half, and another 6 and now half, and another 6 and a half. I'm 6 and a half now, 7, and another 6 and a half, 7. It's 6 and a half now, 7, but I'm 7, and 6 and a half now, 7, but I'm 7. I'm 6 and a half now, 7, but I'm 7, but I'm 6 and a half now, 7, but I'm 6 and a half now, 7, right. 6 and a half, 7. So it's 650. Who you up? 365.
I don't have any notes. Randy, pull him.
702, 702.
Oh, it's Randy.
Hey, Ed, I don't know where Mules go.
706 in the hole, 706 in the hole.
Said that mule's never done a thing wrong. 15 years old. Been at Randy's house the last 11 years. His name's Tony.
I had health issues last year and I didn't make the first trail ride. Nobody rode him. Been 2 years since he rode. We called him, come up here with him. I promise you, that'll be the best mule that you've ever sat on. He walks out good. He'll beat you at the gate when you want to catch him. You can't make him do nothing wrong. Randy's got 2 of them mules. He's had them a long time.
It's a very nice mule.
22 and a half, 5. Did it 25 now, 7 and a half. Hit 27 and a half, 3. Hit it 3, 7 down, but about 2 and a half. Did it 32 and a half. Did it 3, 7 down, 2 and a half. Hit 3, 7 down, 2 and a half. Did it 32 and a half. Did it 3, 7 down, 2 and a half. Did it 3, 7 down, 2 and a half. I'm 3, 7 down, 2 and a half. 1, 2. Hit it 31 now, 2. Did it 1 now, 2. 31, 32, 31, 33, hit 32, 3, zing, hit 32, now 4, I'm at 34, 4, I'm at 4, I'm 34, hit now 5, hit 35, hit 4, now 5, 6, 35, 6. Hit 36, hit it, hit it, hit it, about a bit, no, hit it, hit it, 35, and now, hit it, but about 35, and now, hit it, but about 35, 6.
Good view, fine. You'll love it when you get it home.
3,500, 600, hit it, 5, and now, hit it, 35, and now, hit it, 30, sold him 3,500 for the bone cheeseburger.
432 coming in is going to be Hope. She is a 3-year-old Molly. She's had 30 days under saddle. She's good-minded and willing.
Said Charlie said she's a real nice mule. She's out of a cut and bred barn. 600, 700, 600 now, 700 now, but I'm thinking now, 700 now, 700 but I'm thinking now, 700. I'm gone, 600 now, half, 600 now, half, 600 now, 700 now, half, 600 now, 800 now, half, 800 half. $800 now, half, now, 900 now, half, 900 now, 10, 10, 10, half, 10 half, now, 11, but I'm thinking now, 11, 1100, 10 now, 11, but I'm thinking now, 1100, you, 10, 15, 11, I'm 10, 15, 11, 11, but I'm 10, 15, now, 11, I'm 10, 15, 11, 11, there's a pretty mule. 10 and a half, 11 and a 10 and a half, 11 on 2. Said she'll do everything right. 10 and a half, 1100, 10 and a 11 and a 10, but about 10 and 11 and a 10, but 11 and a right. How? Sold her 10. Nope, how much you need here, Shirley? But it takes 1,500 for while she's here. There's a cute young mule.
434.
Charlie, get 1250.
This is one of two mules, Poncho and Lefty. This will be Poncho. They belong to an older gentleman that can't ride anymore. He's 12 years old, been trail ridden and used in the sale barn.
And there's two of them mules come up from Standout, Oklahoma, and I sent Roy down there to get them. That man went to Colorado, used for everything. This grand gets used from there out at the sale barn. They'll be broke, good use.
They've been used their whole lives.
That one there's 13, 14, the other 7. Roy went down there and got them off them last week, and I promise you, I can get somebody right. 17 and a half.
17 and a half, $2,000. It's 17 and a half now, $2. 17 and a half now, $2. 17 and a half, 18 and a half. Now $2. 2 and a half now, $2. Now $1. 21. I'm $2 now, $1 a bit of the $2 $1 a bit of the $2 $1 a bit of the $20 what? I'm $2 now, $1 a bit of the $21 $1 a bit of the $2 $1 a bit of the $2 $1 a bit of the $21 here I have. Sold a mule 2,000, put it on Adam.
Four.
201, 201.
If number 433 is Clove, a 6-year-old Molly. She's 15 hands, been trail ridden and packed all over, 6 years old.
1,500, 17 and a half. 1,500 and 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 17 and a half. Here's 16. Here's 16. Now 17. 17. 1700. Yep, 1700. 1700. I'm 1,600 now, half it is now, half here, I have. Sold the mule 1,600, put it on cheese.
436.
6 or 7 years old.
This will be, is this Tito?
Yeah.
This is Tito. He's a little John mule, gonna stand just under 14 hands, be fun, well, gonna stand a little more than that. Fun to ride.
Bridget, we picked that little mule up. That mule's supposed to be broke to ride and exposed to harness. We don't know. Trade said that mule might need a little more riding.
Okay.
There you go. 6 or 7 years old.
6 or 7 years old, guys.
Sell that mule there, $300, $400. I'm $300 now, $400, $300 now, $400, $300 now, $400 now, half, $300 now, 3.5. Good, 3.5, $300 now, 3.5, $300 now, half, $300 now, half. I'm 3.5, $300 half. I'm 3.50, but I'm 3.5. I have sold a mule 300, 313.
438.
Oh, no, we got a big crossbred one. We got a nice one. Sorry.
And there's two of them little mares that are out.
126, 126.
There are two of them little young mules, guys. They're out of walking horse barn. He's already a John. They tied him up. He's got 4 big white legs and just a baby. 500, 600, 5.5, now 75. I wouldn't let him do that to me. 5.50, 75. Here, 5.50, 75. Get after him. 5.50, 75. Put it out, 75. Put it out, 75. I out. Now 6. Now you're all out. 5.75, 6. Now 6, and now quarter, and now half, and you go back in up there now, they're gonna quarter now half. I just saw that ass, 6 and a quarter now half, and they're gonna quarter now half, I have 6 and a quarter, put them on Jeff. 393.
435.
Yeah, 435. This one is the Lefty. This is the other one of the pair. This one is gonna be 7 years old. Trail ridden and used in the sale barn.
Down there in Alpha, he'll be broke. There's a shaky, pretty good little deal right there. 17 and a half.
$17.5, $2,000, hit it to the $17.5 now, $2,000, hit it to $18.5, hit it to the $17.5 now, $18.5, hit it to the $18.5, hit it to the $17.5 now, $18.5. $15.5, hit it to the $18.5, hit it to the $17.5 now, $18.5, hit it to the $18.5, hit it to the $17.5 now, $18.5. I'm gone, $17.5, $18.5, hit it to the $18.5, hit it to the $17.5 now, $18.5, hit it to the $18.5. $18.5, hit it to the $17.5 now, $18.5, hit it to the $18.5, hit it to the $17.5 now, $18.5, hit it to the $18.5. Totally $17.50, put him on, Adam.
Applejack is an 8-year-old Molly Mule, and she's been trail ridden.
12.5, 1,500. Here's 1,500 here. Hit it to the 12.5, hit it to the 1,500, hit it to the 12.5, 1,500, hit it to the 12, hit it to the 1,500, hit it to the 1,500. I'm 12.5, 15, hit it to the 12.5, hit it to the 1,500, hit it to the 12.5, 1,500, hit it to the 12.5, 13.5. I'm 12.5, 13.5, hit it to the 13.5, hit it to the 12.5, now 13.5, hit it to the 13.5, hit it to the 12.5, hit it to the 13.5. I'm 13.5 here, hit it to the 12.5, 13.5, hey, how? There's a good at mule, 12.5, 13.5, hit it to the 13.5. I'm 12.5, 13.5, hit it to the 13.5, hit it to the 1300, hit it to the 12, hit it now 1300, hit it to the 1300, hey, how? How old was she?
She is just 8 years old.
8 years old, 12.5, 13.5, 13.5, 12.5, 13.5, 12.5, 13.5. Sold her 12.50, put her on Adam.
Next one's 441.
Randy Pulliam.
Same range, 201, same range, 201.
I had heard the full brother there, and he wasn't laid back as he is. Told him off, they worked the wagons. That meant he was up working, didn't anybody do about there. That boy, he took her last weekend, hadn't been rode in 2 years. He took her up there and kept her all weekend in the mountains. They trailed over and done everything with her. The boys were amazed at them horses before he could go, and they could. He just torn her head toward the log, just jump it, go right on. After any word, anything rider, easy shot. You had a set of shoes on when you left. When you come back, you had to go.
My 4-year-old boy spent most of that trail ride on her.
Said his oldest boy rode that mule most of the weekend, guys. How old was you, Randy? 12 years young. 1,500, 17.5. Hit now 2. Hit now 2. Now 2.5. Hit it to the 22.5. Hit it to the 200. Now 2.5. Now 5. Hit it to the 25. Hit it now 7.5. Hit it to the 27.5. I'm 25, 7.5. Hit it to the 25. Hit it now 7.5. Hit it to the 5. Hit it to the 7.5. Here's 6. Hit it to the 26. I'm 26 there now 7. Hit it now 8. Hit it to the 28. 8. Hit it to the 7. Now 8. I'm 28. Hit it to the 7. Now 8. Hit it to the 28. Hit it to the 7. Now 8. Hit it to the yes, sir.
Yeah.
They rode them all over.
Outside.
It's a Molly. 27.8, hit 28, hit it now, 8, 27 now, 8, 9, 29, 9, now 3, hit it 3,000, hit 3,000, hit it good, hit it on 1, hit it 31, hit it now 2, hit it now 3, I'm on 33, 33, 4, I'm on 34, hit it now, hold it 33, now hold it 33, now hold it 34. 33, 4, how did it hold it? I have. It'll take 4,000 for her while she's here.
Next one's 46.
I have no notes on 46. There it is. I'm noteless.
600, 700. I got him. 700 now, half. I'm 600 now, half. Pretty good penny right there. 600 now, half.
You run in here on the loose last night at 2 in the morning. She cost 1100 run around a little bit here. 1250.
600, 6.5. He's in the now, half, bit of the days, and the now, half, bit of the days, and the bit, and a half, bit of the days, and the now, half, bit of the days, and the now, half. Good, 6.5, bit of the days, and the bit, and a half, bit of the days, and the now, half, and the bomb, half, 6.5. 600 for on Jerry. $393, Jeff.
Yes, that's Jeff.
$393.
I have a note. I see a note. Uncalled for.
78.
This will be a 14, 15-year-old Molly mule. She's been to Colorado multiple times, being sold due to family troubles. She rides, she's gentle, she's easy to catch, and she's packed elk out of the mountains. 14, 15 years old.
Get a little of that snow, big Ed. A little something, do something with it right here.
Hey, there was a very nice gentleman, older gentleman, brought that mule in now. $1,000, 12 and a half, 11, 12, 11 and a half, 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 12, 1100, who was it? Cheeseburger. That older man sitting right there behind you. Be a walking mule. I bet you can get him outside and that mule can stroll. It's a Molly mule. 2,500, 27 and a half, 25 and a half, 7 and a half, 2,500 and 7 and a half, 25 and a half, 7 and a half, 27 and a half, 27 and a half, where's Caitlin go? 25, 7 now, 3, $3, $7, 27 and a half, 3 now, 2 and a half, 32 and a half, 32 and a half. I bet she can stroll now. 2, 3, $10 now, 2 and a half, now 5. 35, 32 and a half, now 5, 32 and a half, now 5, 32 and a half, now 5, 32 and a half, 5, 32 and a half, 32 and a half, now 5, 32 and a half, now 5, 35, 32 and a half, now 5, 32 and a half, now 5, so they're 32 and a half, they're on 361. You can leave late and get there early on her, I bet you.
Okay. 40.
Oh my.
This is Cleo, a beautiful 5-year-old Molly. She'll stand 15-3. She's been trail ridden and packed all over. A big stand-up mule made for the big country.
$2,000, 22 and a half. Here's $2,000 now, 2 and a half gone. Hit the video, 2 and now 5. Hit the video, 25. Hit the video, 2 and a half. Hit the video, 22 and a half. Hit the now 5. Hit the video, 25. Hit the video, 2 and a half. 5. Hit 25. Hit the video, 3 and a half. 4 and a half. Hit it now 5 and a half. Hit the video, 25 and a half. Hit the video, 4 and a half. Now 5 and a half. Hit 25 and a half. Hit the video, 4 and a half. Now 5 and a half. Hit the video, 25 and a half. Hit the video, 4 and a half. 5 and a half. Then she'll be really broke. Then she'll be Gentile. 24 and a half, 5 and a half, hit the video, 4 and a half, now 5 and a half, hit the video, 25 and a half, now 6 and a half, and now 7 and a half, hit the video, 28 and a half, hit the video, 9 and a half, and now 3 and a half, now 1 and a half, 31 and a half, hit 3, now 2 and a half, and now 3 and a half, hit the video, 33 and a half, 4 and a half, now 5 and a half, hit 35 and a half, 6 and a half, 7 and a half, hit the video, 37 and a half, hit the video, 6 and a half, now 7 and a half, hit 37 and a half, hit the video, 6 and a half, now 7 and a half, hit the video, 7 and a half, hit the video, now 8 and a half, hit the video, 9 and a half, hit the video, 39 and a half, 4,000 and a half, and now 1 and a half, hit the video, 41 and a half, hit the video, 4,000 and a half, now 1 and a half, hit the video, 4,000 and a half, now 1 and a half, I'm 4,000 and a half, 1 and a half, I have. 4,000 half, 1.5, 4,000 half, now 1.5, high, half. Sold her 4,050, put her on. Cheeseburger.
455, no notes.
Sometimes people are slow learners, son.
What you got, Roy?
Thomas, this is Thomas. Thomas is 12 years old. Been trail road, been to the elk camps. He is a gentle, honest mule. Let's sell Thomas.
$1,000, 12.5. It's 11, 12, 11, 12, $1,600. Only 1,500. Put it on 388.
One thing about Miss Teresa, she's got a good eye.
What's that number?
Except
15 years ago, buddy.
except when she got hit.
411, 411.
Just that other young mule.
This is Poncho. He's a 3-year-old John mule. He's been under saddle. He's had a few rides. Cute baby doll head. Be a sweet little ride if you want a young mule to get going. 3 years old.
$300, 3.5. Here, 300, 3.5. 300 now, 3.5. 300 now, 3.5. Down, gone. 300 now, half. Here now, 4. And now half. 5. 4 now, 5. 4 now, 5. Yep, 4 now, 5. Sold him 453, 45. Whoop, how much you need here, Brandon? Doesn't take 800.
439.
Whoa, lordy, lordy. Looky here.
This is Sonny. Sonny is a 10-year-old, 15-hand John mule, golden palomino, gentle as you can ask for one, broke and the very best trail mule
Molly
from
mule,
beginners to advanced. And everyone gets along with him, personable, and comes right up to you in the pasture. 10 years old.
It's a her, ain't it?
25, maybe that's sex change since that loaded it, but it's a mare. It's not even a girl, I'm sorry. Hey, there's 2 of these mules.
There'll be 2 of these mules.
Come off an old couple there at home. They've had them forever. They both need to be wormed, and their old hair coat ain't the best, but I'm telling you, you worm her, put a set of front shoes on her, that's gonna be the prettiest mule in the state. They have been there, done that. East, west, anywhere, pack, they've been there. That's the brokest mule. She'll come to you in the pasture. You can clip her with the lead rope hanging on the ground. You can shoot her front, back, do whatever you want. I promise you. And if you can hold her out of range, you can ride her.
She is a Molly, you guys. A
There's
Molly
a
mule.
fancy dapple palomino mule right there.
All she needs that hair knocked off.
He come on right here, boys. About 2,500, $3,000. Hit it at 25 and now 3,000. 25 and now 3. 25 and now 7.5. Hit it at 27.5. Hit it at now 3. But I'm 3,700 now 3,000. Hit it at 7.5. 3. 27.5. 3. Hit it at 3,000. Hit it at 27.5 now 3. Hit 3,000. Hit it at 27.5. 8.5. Hit it at now 9.5. Hit it at 29.5. Hit it at 9.5 now 3,000. Hit it at now 1.5, hit it at 31.5, now 2.5, hit it at 3.5, hit it at 33.5, and now 4.5, now 5.5, hit it at 35.5, hit it at 4.5, now 5.5, I'm 34.5, 5.5, hit it at 5.5, hit it at 4.5, now 5.5, hit it at 5.5.
That's probably the first time she's been rode. Maybe the second time I rode before we brought her here. That's the second time she's been rode in a year. You can catch her in a 100-acre pasture, walking out there at the halter of your hand like this. You can hop up on her, you can ride her bareback, and you can clip her with the rope hanging on the ground. That's a good mule.
There's a pretty mule. 11
or 12 years old, too.
34 and a half, 5 and a half, 35 and a half, now 6 and a half, 36 and a half, 5 and a half, now 6 and a half, 35 and a half, now 6 and a half, 36 and a half, 5 and a half, now 6 and a half, 35 and a half, now 6 and a half. I gotta admit, he bid 3,500. I'll take 35 and a half, 35 and a half, 35 and a half, now 6, now 6, now 6, 35 and a half, 6, 36. 36, 35 and a half, now 6 and a bit of the number, 35 and a half, now 6 and a bit. Says, sir just right her, guys. It said that mule saddled good. She stood there good. 35 and a half, 6, 36 and a half, 35 and a half, now 6 and a bit, 35 and a half, now 6 and a bit, number 6. 35 and a half, 6. Sold her 35 and a half, put her on number 1061.
451.
This is Daisy. She's a 13-year-old Molly. She's 15 one hands, gentle as they come, broke to ride and pack. She stands great for the farrier, standing on 4 new shoes, easy to catch, loads perfect. They said she's not fast, but she is steady. 13 years old.
600, 700, it's 700, it is 700, 700, now 800, 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 700, now 8. I'm 700, 700, now 800, 700, now 800, 700, now 8. Sold her 700 on you out. 1068.
Next one's 460.
460. Yep. I got to no notes.
This deal's out of the price generator mare now. Molly Mules. $300, $400, I'm $300 now, $400, $300 now, $400, $300 now, $400, $100, $300 now, 3 and a half, $300 now, half. It's 3 and a half, $300 now, $300 now, 3 and a half. Jury for your end, $300 now, half. I'm 3 and a half, $300 and a half, $300 now, 3 and a half, $300 now, half. I have now 4. Now you're on your own, 3 and a half, 4. Yep, 4 here. Do you do it, Sammy? I'm going to 4, I'm going to half, 4 and a half, 4 and a bit now, half. I'm 4, 4 and a half, 4 and a bit now, half, 4. There's a better mule, man. $400, 4 and a half, hit 4, 4 and a half, and wants to be gentle. Now 5, 4 and a half, now 5 and a bit, I'm going to 5 and a bit, 4 and a now 5 and a bit, 4 and a now 5 and a bit, a half. Sold the mule all the way up high, 450. 10, 5, 8. There, I've been waiting for this view.
610, 610.
This would be a smooth mouth John Mule. He's been hooked to any and every kind of equipment. Amish stroke, traffic safe. The only reason he's being sold is they lost his mate and they do need a team. This mule's been trail ridden also. He'll cross creeks and go anywhere you point him.
You ain't got to tie this mule up to get on him. If you want a good, safe mule that's easy to catch, he's your boy. But his mate died, and we need a team.
They gotta have a team, guys. $1,000, 12 and a half. Now 1,500. Now 1,500. 17 and a half. 16, 17, 18, 19, 19. Come on, Landon Moore. 1900. 1,800 now, 1,900. You boys are all out. I'm on the other side of the room. Now 2,000. Hit 1900 now 2. Johnny's in the lead. 9 now 2. Now 1. 21. Hit 21. Hit 21. Hit 21. 1. Now 2. 22. 22. Hit 1. I can see Cameron field working on him. 22, 21, 2, 21 now 2, 22 plowing his yard, 21 now 2, 21 now 2, you give a half, 21, 1.5, 1 now 1.5, now 2, young man, 22. 21 and a half now, 2, 21 and a half now, 2, 21 and a half now, 2, 22. He's worked 4 and 6 to breast. He come right out of the Amish country, 21 and a half, 2, 22, 22, 22, 21 and a half, now 2, 22, 22, 1 and a half, 2, 2, now half, 22 and a half, 22, 2 and a half, 2, you're right, Cameron mad, 22, 2 and a half, I'm 22, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, I have, now 3. Now 23, young lady, 22 and a half, now 3, 2 and a half, now 3, I have. Sold a mule, 22.50. He's gone to Kansas.
Landon. Next one's 458. Thank you, ma'am. 458. Ed, I have bad news.
15. Oh, we need that. That's fine.
We'll show you a pretty mule.
Pretty mule.
What'd they tell you about this mule?
Thank you.
Joe?
Man had it in Brody for 4 years, had back surgery, mule come right up here 15 miles to Owensville.
Come right up here at Owensville, guys. Local mule. I mean, there's a good mule. 2022 and a half, 2 and a half, 22 and a half, 2 and a half, 22 and a half. I'm 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 22 and 1, 2, 21 now, 2, 22, 22, 23 now, 24, I'm 24, I'm 24, 23 now, 23 now, 4, 24, 4.
I promise you, you walk out the pasture, this thing will come to you. I walked out there this morning, opened the gate, and he was standing right there and come right to you.
There's a good view.
Catch.
23, 4. It's 24, 23 now, 23 now, There's a better mule than I got money bet on, I promise you. 23, 4. It's 24, 23 now, 24, I have. Only 2,300. Put him on cheeseburger.
$452 will be Junior, allegedly a John Mule, but I've been wrong already. Thank you. 15 hands, gated. Got tons of trail experience, been on lots of hunting trips. He's seen it all. He's broke for all levels of riders and very smooth. 15 hands and gated.
Come with that yellow mule.
Right off the same place, same deal, clipping, you clip him with the rope hanging, you walk out there to catch him with the lead rope hanging around, he'll still come to you, pick up every foot, you can sit up there and try.
So if you can sit up here, you can get along right here. $2,000, little $1,000, 12 and a half, and I seen that thumb hanging out there too. 12 and a half, 12 and a half, 12 and a half. Yes, I'm looking at 12 and a half, I've never had that done to me before. 12 and a half, 1,500, 12 and a half, 1,500, yes, 12 and a half, 1,500, 12 and a half, 13 and a half, yes, 13 and a half, yes, ma'am. Sis said she went back there and saddled him up, stepped right on him, and rode him right up her. She didn't go back there and warm him up or nothing.
How you buy it, write your own guarantee. I guarantee sale, guarantee not to have any bad habits. Write the guarantee and I'll sign it. If he ain't just like he's supposed to be, I'll come get him. I don't care if you live in the last.
There you go, guys. You couldn't get a better deal than paying that. 12 and a half, 1,500. Yeah, 1,500. Hit it at 12 and a half. Hit it at 1,300, Jerry. 1,400. Hit it at 1,500. Hit it at 1,600. Yeah, 1,600. 1,600. Gentile. 15, 16, Jerry, 1,500.
Thank you, Reverend.
128, 128.
I got no notes. Again, it's the mule. I don't have a story for this mule.
She'll be 7 years young. Got brand new shoes on. She'll be broke to get in that bridle. 2,500, 27 and a half. 25 and a half, 7 and a half. 25 and a half, 7 and a half. Good, 27 and a half. 7 and a half. 25 and a half, 7 and a half. 27 and a half. 27 and a half. 7 and a half. 27 and a half. 25 and a half. 600. 2,600. I'm 2,500. 600 here now. 700. 700. 700. Yeah, 2,700. 700. Said you can ride her all over outside? No. 2,600. 700. Now 800. 2,800. 700 now. 800. 800. 700 now. 800. 700 now. 800. 27 now. 800. 28. 700 now. 800. 27 now. 800. Here I have. So we're 2,700. Put her on that.
201, 201, 201.
This is Mr. Bonner's mule. Jim got him a fat mule. 500, 600, yeah, 500 now, 600 now, but I'm 500 now, 600 now, but I'm 600 now, got him in 500 now, half and now 600 now, but I'm 600 now, half and now 700 now, half and now 800, it's 7 half, 800, 7 half now, 800, 7 half now, 800, it's 7 half, 800, 7 half now, 800, 7 half now, 800, but I'm 800, 7 half now, 800, but I'm 7 half, 800. Sold the old 750, 345.
I have a note.
Imagine that.
I do. I have a note.
Looks like a love letter.
It is a love letter, yes it is. This is Roni, a 9-year-old John Mule standing 14-2. Shoes were reset on April the 22nd. All vaccines and teeth floated April 14th. Roni neck reins worked in the Oklahoma Stockyards for several years. Trail ridden in the Black Hills, the mountains of Wyoming, and the Theodore Roosevelt National Park. 9 years old.
They wrote that out so an older person could read it.
$1,000, 12 and a half. It's $1,000 now, 12 and a half. $1,500 now, 17 and a half. Now $2,000. $17 and a half. Now 2 now 2 and a half. $2,000 now 2 and a half. It's $2,000 now 2 and a half. $22 and a half. You say young man now pay. You're 25. 2 and a half pay. I'm 25, 2 and a half, 3 and a half, now 4 and a half, 24 and a half, 3 and a half, 4 and a half, Tristan, I'm going to 24 and a half, 23 and a half, 4 and a half, 4 and a half, 3 and a half, 4 and a half, 24 and a half, 23 and a half, 4 and a half.
That guy's only in the last 2 years, he gave $8,000 for him online at Ada, Oklahoma. That's his brand on him. He lives about 40 miles from my house. He asked me to haul him down here and sell it. It's all a legit deal.
23 and a half, 4 and a half, 24 and a half, 3 and a half, now 4 and a half, 24 and a half, 3 and a half, 4 and a half, 23 and a half, now 4 and a half, 24 and a half, 3 and a half, now 4 and a half, 24 and a half, 3 and a half, now 4 and a half, 4 and a half, I'm 23 and a half, 4 and a half, 3 and a half, 4 and a half, 24 and a half, I have sold the old 23.50, 37.6.
510,
Excuse me.
510, 510.
Next is 465. Trail ride meal 6.
600, 700, 600 down, 700 down, 700 down, 700 down, 700 down, 700 down, 700, 600, 700, 700 down, 700 down, 700 down, 700 down, half, 600 down, half, 600 down, half, 600 down, half, 600 half, 600 down, half, 600 down, half, I'm 600 down, half, 600 down, half, 600 down, 700 700 Cheyenne, you're out. 6.5, 700. I can get you in those 6.5, 700. It's 700. 700. I'm 700. 700. Sold at 650. You got a number, Tristan? 1076.
I have a love note.
This is Little Joe. A John Mule broke really good for anyone. You can catch him anywhere. He will come to you. A nice riding mule and a pack mule. Been packed in the mountains. If you need to go check your cows, he's got a nice running walk, so it doesn't take long to get them checked. 100% sound.
600, 700, 600 now, 700 now, 7 now, 8 now, 9 down, 800 down, 10, Said you put kids on him from his head to his tail. Said this is a saddle mule. 900 now, $1,000. Hit 900 now, $1,000. Hit 900 now, $1,000. Now 1,100. 900 now, 1,100. 900 now, 1,100. 1,100 now, 1,100. I'm $1,000. 1,100. 1,100 now, 1,100. Hit $1,000. 1,100. I have 1,100. Selling you $1,000. How much you need here, Richard? Young lady, we're awful close. That mule's broken. You can buy it off a good man. He wants $1,500 for it. Hey, would you give me $1,250 and we'll try? Hey, you say $1,200? Hey, I can get you $1,200 if you want to trade. So $1,200. Put it on 310. Hey, on socks. Her name's Josie. She's 14 years old. So if you can set up her and hold him bridle ranging rider, he rode her all over outside without a bridle. She's 100% sound. Said you can give her right back to him if you don't like everything about her. $1,000, 12.5. Hit $1,000, 12.5. Hit it out, $1,000 now, 12.5. Hit 12.5 now, 1,500. You gotta be 1,500, ma'am. Now 17.5, sir. Now $2,000, ma'am. Now 2.5. Now 5. Now 7.5. $3,000. Now 2.5. That's 32.5. It'll be 32.5. You're all out. 32.5. You do it, Landon. 1, 2. Hit it 32. Now 3. Hit it now 4. And now 5. Hit it 35. Hit it 4. Now 5. I'm 35, ma'am. We're out 2. 35. Hit it 5 a bit. I'm 4, 5. Hit it 5. 34 now 5. I'm 35 now 6. Hit it 36. Now 7. Hit it 37. Hey, take that bridle off. 3,600 now 7. Hit it now 7. She'll be broke. Hit it 36 now 7. Hit it 37. And how many of you gentlemen you'll hope you'll do that with?
How many are you going to get on bareback?
Yeah, how many will you get on bareback? 3,600 now 700. Hit it 36. She's Gentile. Hit it now 7. Hit 37. Hit it 37. And 36. 7. Man, you want back in? Hit it 37. Ma'am, give me 36.5. Man, give me 36.5. If you'd go to the office, he would. 36.5. 36.5. 36.5. Landon, you want back in? 36.5. 36.5. Here I have 36.5. Riley said he wants 4,500 for it. I don't blame him.
No, stop.
464.
Guess what?
Hey, I can get 35 if you want to sell her.
You said 4?
Said it takes 4,000 while she's here. I don't blame them.
I got a note. Oh my.
This is Mousy, a mouse-colored John mule, a really nice riding mule, easy to catch, gentle, gonna meet you in the pasture. Leads good behind the four-wheeler or the side-by-side.
We're gonna let you finish some.
So if you got a kid or a grandma or anybody wants to ride, guys, so this deal's easy to cut, easy to handle. 600, 700, hit it down, say up high. I'm 600, 700, hit it I'm gone. Hit it down, 700, now we 300, hit it down, 9, hit it down, 800 down, 900 down, 10,
Took it on the floor. We're still out.
I'm on the internet, 900, 1000, hit it down, 1100, internet, now you're out, 1100. I'm 1000, 1100, hit it down, 1100, hit it down, 1100, 10 and a half, internet. Just 10, 10 and a half, hit it down, 10 down, pound, pound and a half, hit it down, pound and a half. I'm $1,000, pound and a half, hit it down, pound and a half, hit it down, pound and a half, hit it down, pound and a half. I'm $1,000, pound and a half, hit it down, pound and a half, here now, 11, hit it down, 1100, 10 and a half, 1100, hit it down, 1100, 10 and a half, 1100, sold the mule 1,058, put it on 365. The Mule King.
Nobody told me that. I have to change them.
I don't have footnotes, but what I do have is a video, and it's up there now. So tell me about this one, Jaden. She's an 8-year-old Molly. Gentle, no buck, no kick. He said she doesn't act like a mule, and they roped hogs on her.
I seen the video.
And Ed has seen the proof of that. It's up there, yeah. Lope right off, yeah, he rode her all over out there today. Watch that video if you didn't see her ride outside.
Around here, 5,000, 2,000, 22 and a half. Here's $2,000, 22 and a half. Hit it to 2,000, now 2, 1, 2, hit it now 3, now 4, and it is 24, 3, now 5, hit it to 25, and now 600, now 700, 27, now 8, now 9, hit it to 29, 3,000, hit it to $3,000, 29, 3, hit it to 3,000 over here, now 1, hit it to 31, hit it to 31, hit it to 3,000, now what? I'm 31, hit it to 3,000, now 1, hit it to 3,000, now 1, hit it to 31, hit it to 3,000, now what? It's 31, hit it now 2, hit it to 32, hit it to 31. If you seen that video, guys, that mule never even flinched when he roped that hole. 31, 2, hit 32, 3, hit 32, 3, Richard, you're out, 32, now 33, you go hog roping on her, 32, 3, hit 33, hit 32, now 3, now 4, I'm at about 34, now 5, hit 35, I'm 4, 5, hit 34, now 5, Ronnie, you're out, 35, hit 34, you go hog roping, 34, 5, I'm 34, now 5,
I want the video of that.
I'm 34, 5, hit 35, now 5, 34, now 5, now 6, now 7, now 7, 37, 30, now 8, now 9, 39 kip, you're out again, now 4,000, now 1 kip, 41, 4,000, now 1, 41 kip, you're gonna go hog roping, 41, that's the one to take, 41, 4,000, now 1, it'll be a 8, sold a mule, 4,000, put her on cheeseburger.
Yeah.
78, 78, 78.
I don't have any notes here.
Lightning is a 12-year-old John mule, a nice riding mule, gentle, in your hip pocket every time you go to the pasture. Don't worry about his small size. I ride him in the mountains in northwest Arkansas all day long, and he is still going when we finish. He never has to be shod. A really nice small mule in every way. If you want a good one, here he is, 100% sound and 12 years old.
600, 700, 600 and 700, 600 and 700, 700 and 700. It's 700. Who said yeah? 100 and now 8, 100 and a half, and now 8.5, and now 9.5, 9.5. Find out 9.5, now 10.5, 10.5, 11.5, 11.5, 10.5. I'll take 1,100 this time. 1,100, 1100, 1100, 1100 and 12, 13, 13. Richard said he's rode this mule all over the mountains down there now. Said you ain't got to have shoes on it either. 1,200, 1,300. Jerry, you'll work at your house. 1,200, 1,300, and a half. 13 and a half. Now 14 and a half. Now 14 and a half. There's a good mule coming off a good jab. 14 and a half. 14 and a half, 13 and a half, 14 and a half, 15 and a half, kids, 15 and a half, and now 16 and a half, 17 and a half, 17 and a half. You can ride her tomorrow. Now 17 and a half, 17 and a half, and now 18 and a half, 18 and a half, 18 and a half. It's your turn. Don't miss your turn. 18 and a half, 17 and a half, 18 and a half. I have solar 1750. Put it on 10, 68. Thank you, Richard.
511, 511, 511.
Almost.
Apparently not.
Nope. So close.
Be a Molly, 3 years old, gentle sound, and has had 30 days of riding.
$300, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5. It's 3, 3.5, 3.5 here, 3.5. I'm 3, 3.5, I'm 3, 3.5. It's 3, 3.5, now 4, and now 4. I'm gonna 3.5, now 4 to be Jerry boy. I'm gonna 3.5, now 4 to be, I'm gonna 3, but now 4. I'm 3 15, now 4. I'm gonna 4 to be, 3, but now 4 to be, I'm gonna 4 to be. I have 350. Put it on Zane. 664. 664 is his number.
Yes, sir.
Said this mule rides all right, but it might need a pair of seeing spectacles. 400, 4.5. He'll look at it in 4 and 4.5. Did it in 4 and now half. Did it in 4 and now 4.5. Did it in 4 and now half. Did it in 4 and now 4.5. I'm 4, 4.5. Did it in 4 and now 4.5. Did it in 4 and now half. Did it in 4 and now half. Did it in 4 and now half. I'm 4, 4.5. Did it in 4 and now 4.5. I have cheeseburger 400.
Now we're fixing to start these draft horses we had advertised.
Draft horse deals on, guys.
We never get a sell these days.
Is that 3 and 4?
Yeah.
These are the 5-year-olds, right, Bob?
So there's 6 of these that all came off one place. These first 2 here are 5-year-old geldings. They are broke to work. They've been hooked to farm machinery and the manure spreader. They can handle all the work that you want to give them, and they are sound and strong, and you draw your eyes across them right there.
Yeah, no.
I trust the guy I got them off of because the age was right, their sound, their jill. They ain't been Amish work. He got them off a ranch.
They came off a ranch. These are not Amish horses.
They come right off a big ranch.
They're good horses. Everything's good with them.
Everything's good with them, guys. There's a pair of good young horses right there. Who give 10,000 apiece for them? Does anybody want to buy a choice?
2 times you bid.
37.5, $4,000. Hit it at $4,000. Hit it at 37.5 now. $4,000. Hit it at 37.5 for it. Hit 4,000. Hit it at 37. I'm gone. Hit it at 37.5 for it. Hit forward now, 2.5. Hit it to the 40, 2.5. Hit it to the 4, down to the 2.5. Hit forward down to the 2.5. Hit it to the 40, 2.5. Hit it to the 4, down to the 1. Hit it to the 41. And 4 down to the 1. Hit it to the 41. Hit it to the 4, down to the 1. Hit it to the 41. Hit it to the 4, down to the 1. Hit it to the 1. 41.
Yeah, you don't see these.
And he's got a pair of 5-year-old gillies that broke the work, and there's a
We're
nice.
on a one-way ticket too. He's gonna sell every one of them.
Nice.
Help
Belgians.
yourself. $4,000, 41. Hit it to the 4, down to the 1. Hit 4 down to the 1. Hit it to the 4, down to the 1. Hit it to the 4, down to the 1. Hit it to the 1. Hit 4 down to the 1. Hit it to the 41. Hit it to the 4, down to the 1. Hit it to the
I lost my mind when I bought them. I thought they were worth a hell of a lot more, but I'm gonna sell them and get a check for them today.
4,000, 41. Hit it to the 4, down to the 1. Hit it to the 41. Hit it to the 4, down to the 1. Hit it to the 1. Hit it to the 4, down to the 1. Hit it to the 1 back in. 41. Hit it to the 4, down to the 1. Hit it to the 1. 4 down to the 1. Hit it to the 41. Sold them $4,000. Put them on 3. Nope. Levi Bum Trigger.
Go to 506 for them, 506.
She's 5 years old.
The mare on the left, 5 years old. And
This bear's green broke the work. This bear broke the lead.
the mare on the left string broke to work. The mare on the right is broke to lead. They're 5 and 6 years young.
3 and
3 and
5.
5. 3 and 5.
Choice man.
So your choice, mare. 3,000, 32 and a half. I'm gone. 3,000 now, 2 and a half. 3,000 now, 2 and a half. 32 and a half. 3,000 now, 2 and a half. 31. 1. And now 2. And now 32, 31, 32, now 3. 33. Johnny, I'm on 33. And now 4. I'm on 34. Now 4. 33, 4. 33 now. 4. 33 now. 4. 33 now. 4. 33 now. 4. I'm 34, hit it to the 3, hit it to the 4, hit it to the 33 now, 4, hit it to the 34, hit it to the 3, hit it now, 4. I'm 34, here I have 3,300 on 365. Takes the left hand mark.
Takes 14.
Sell this young mare right here. 27 high, 3,000. Hit 27 high, 3,000. Hit it to the 3,000. 27 high now, 3. Hit it to the 27 high now, 3,000. Hit it to the 27 high, 8.5. Hit 28 high, hit it to the 8 high, hit it to the 7 high now, 8 high. Hit it to the 27 now, 9 high, hit it to the 29 high. 28 and a half, 9 and a half, 9 and a half, 9 and a half, 29 and a half, 9 and a half, 29 and a half, 9 and a half, I'm 29 and a half, 8 and a half, 9 and a half, 28 and a half, 9 and a half, I have sold her 28.50 on the net.
You got her, Cole. 10106. 10106.
What number do you say?
How much did you say?
28 and a half. 25 and 26. Okay. Which ones are these, Bob?
25 is the filly
507.
and 26 is the gelding.
How old are they, Bob?
3-year-olds. 3-year-olds. Choice.
So
Yeah.
your choice. 3,000, 32 and a half. Hit 3 times now, 2 and a half. 3 times now, 2 and a half. 3 times now, 2 and a half. 1. 31. And 3 times now, 1. 31. 3 times now, 1. 3 times now, 1. 31. And 3 times now, 1. 31. 3 times now, 1. 31. 3 times now, 1. 31. 3 times now, 1. 3,000, 31, 2 times the
You
money.
gotta take them both.
2,500, 27 and a half. I'm gone. 2,500, 600. 26, 5, 7, 27. It's 27.
All day, farmer people did about them. You can't buy them anywhere like that, Ed.
No.
Let them turn out somewhere.
2,600, 700, end of the now 800, end of the video 2,800, 999, end of the video 29, 99, end of the video 89, end of the video 29, now 3, end of the video $3, end of the video 29, now 3, now 1. We got 31, end of the video 3, now 1, end of the video 3, now 1, end of the video 31, end of the video 3, now 1, end of the video now 2, 32. 31, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, to the video 1 now 2, to the video 32, to the 1 now 2, to the video half. So 3,100 is that 365?
I missed it. Yearling?
The yearling.
Geldon?
Still a horse coat, Bob.
Still a horse. 1,500, 17 and a half. 1,500 now, 17 and a half. 1,500 now, 17 and a half. 1,500 now, 17 and a half. I'm 1,500 now, 1,600. 1,600 now, 1,600 now, 1,600 now, 1,600 now, 1,600. 1,600. There's a good baby. 1,500, 1,600. 1,600. 1,500 down, 1,600. Yes, 1,600. 1,500 down, 1,600. 1,500 down, 1,600. Right up. Leave that on trigger. 1,500.
506, 506, 50.
Oh, I.
Well, I left mine at home.
486?
Huh?
486. No.
$300, 3 and a half. 3 and a half. 3 and a half. 3 and a half. I got a man. 3 and a half. Jury, you want the end? 3 and a half. 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 And now 4. Did you say yes? Now half. 4 and a half. 4 and a half, young man. 4 and a half. 4 and a half. Yep, 4 and a half. You want back in? 4 and a half. 4 and a half. 4 and a half. I have Joe 400.
Oh. Internet, this is the video I put online this morning. How old was she, Bob? 14
years old.
14-year-old mare. That's a horse colt on her side. You talk about a fancy package right here. She rides, but she's going to ride like a workhorse.
Sell that whole family right there, about 7,500. 32 and a half, 35, 35 gone, 32 and a half, now 5, 35, 32 and a half, 5, now 7 and a half, 4,000, 37 and a half, 4,000, 37 and a half, now 4,000, 8 and a half, 38 and a half, 37 and a half, now 8 and a half, 38 and a half, 37 and a half, now 8 and a half, 38 and a half, 37 and a half, now 8 and a half, 38 and a half, 37 and a half, now 8 and a half, 38 and a half, 37 and a half, now 8 and a half, 38 and a half, 37 and a half, now 8 and a half, 38 and a half, 37 and a half, now 8 and a half, I have. So the 30, said it'll take 4,500 for the pair. I'll haul that old baby if you don't want it. 37 and a half, put them on 345. Wow.
Which number? 12.
This is Roni, an absolutely gorgeous 5-year-old Brabant gelding. He's been hooked up a few times, started under saddle, a nice young prospect, sound in every way.
Light.
Pretty good horse right there. He's been in the harness, guys. You can ride him, and he don't ride like no big draft horse either.
Light him out.
There ain't a hair out of place on him. 4,000, 4,500, 4,000 now 5, 4,000 now 5, 45, 4,000 now 5, 2 and a half 5, 42 and a half 5, 45, 42 and a half 5, now 7 and a half, 47 and a half, 45, now 7 and a half, I'm 47 and a half, 45, now 7 and a half, 47 and a half, 45, now 7 and a half, 47 and a half, 40, now 5, 5,000, 47 and a half, 5,000, you're out, $5,000. Yep, 47 and a half, now 5,000. He rides better than most saddle
He
horses
does.
do.
He is light in the mouth. If you have
Washed his legs, everything. I had him clean before I brought him here, but his little cart washing out there.
He's riding that old big horse around there, and he just got a little bitty old light O-ring snapple in his mouth.
if you've ever bridled one of those,
4,900, $5,000. Yep, 5,000. 49 now, 5. 49 now, $5,000. 5,000. 49 now, 5. Bull shagging horse, 49 now, 5. Yep, $5,000. 14. I bet they can't stop him. 5,000. He rides like a little horse.
He got that horse off of Gordon over. Gordon drove him. He just didn't have a mate for him, and Texas went to ride him. But that's a good big young horse.
4,900, $5,000. 4,900 now, 5. Yep, $5,000. 49 now, $5,000. 5,000 now. Shane, what about you? 49 now, $5,000. Here I have. Sold him 4,900. Put him on 365. Hey, you might want to slide down. That's a low bridge, and that's a lot of horse.
512. You afraid you won't be able to pick him out back there?
You can go in 706, 706, 706.
I know there's a lot that look like him.
501 is Chicken Nugget, a 4-year-old halflinger gelding standing 13-1. Well broke to ride and drive, been worked single, as a team, and 3 across. You cannot hook him wrong. He is traffic safe, ready to take and finish how you see fit. 4 years old.
Good little halflinger horse here now. So that horse will be used to the big trucks and motorcycles and go right down the road now.
And he is so much cuter than his pictures, you guys.
Said it don't matter. There's a cute little 4-year-old horse. 1,500, 17 and a half, 2. 17 and a half, 2. Now 2 and a half. Now 5. 25. Now 7 and a half. 27 and a half. I'm 25, 7 and a half. 6, 7, 8. 28. Now 8. I'm 28. Now 8. 27 now 800. 27 now 8. 27 now 800. And 2,700 now, 800, 800, 700 now, 800 now, 800 now 9. Now 9, give me 28 and a half, then 28 and a half, 7 and a half, 8 and a half, 28 and a half, 7 and a half, now 8 and a half, 27 and a half, 8 and a half, 27 and a half, now 8 and a half, 28 and a half, 7 and a half, now 8 and a half, here I have. Sold him 27.50, put him on land then. Whoop, how much you need here, guys? Said it takes 3,500 for him while he's here, guys. He's got new iron on and on. Did they rope the sled and the dummy on him? Well, you about 3,200. We'll try. Just thought I'd ask.
02?
This will be a yearling Frisian quarter cross filly. She was untouched when they got her, but now leads, stands tied, bathes, and loves to be brushed. Still a little skittish, but she's come a long way. Owner is just downsizing. Yearling.
500, 600, 700, 700, 800, 800, 700, 800, 700, 800, 800, 900, 10, 11, Hit 10, 11, head of the day, 10 of the bed, 11 of the day, 10 of the bed, 11, 11 of the day, 10 of the bed, 11, and 10, 11, head of the day, 11 of the day, 12 of the day, 12 of the day, 11, 12, now 13, head of the day, 13, head of the day, 13, head of the day, 12 of the day, now 13, there's a pretty baby, head of the day, 1300, hit 1300, now 1400, head of the day, 14, head of the day, 13, now 14, head of the day, 13, now 1400, and 14, head of the day, 13, now 14, head of the day, 1400, I have sold 1300 on the internet.
You got her, Christina. 10108 10108. 6.
This will be a 15-year-old halfling gelding coming in, broke to ride and drive, single and double.
There's a good halfling little horse right there. 1200, 1300. I'm 12 and now 13. 12 and now 13. 14. 14. 15. 14 and now 15. 1600. 1600. You get it, Johnny? I'm now 17. 16. Now 1700. And now 18. 18. 17. Now 18. 18. Now 19. 19. 19. 19. 18. Now 1900. I'm 18 around 1900. I used to be able to do that. 18 fall down. 18, 19, 19, 18, 1900. Now 2. We have 2000 argued 19, 2000 argued 2000, 2000 argued 2. We have 1900 now 2, 1908. Gentle, 1900 now 2, 19 2. Selling 1900, 345.
Look here. This is a 9-year-old buckskin draft cross mare. His 13-year-old son has ridden her for the last year. He's caught loose cattle on her, used her to drive out stock at the rodeos, a good using horse, and she knows what a day's work is. Sound and 9 years old.
Pretty mare right there. They've used her for the last year now. Said she probably went to 25 rodeos last year. Said all these little boys got new 2-year-old colts this year and they need to be riding. He said he ain't going to keep them all. 13 and a half, 14 and a half, hit of the video, 14 and a half, hit of the video, 14 and a half, hit of the video, 13 and a half, now 14 and a half, hit of the video, 14 and a half, 14 and a half, hit of the video, 13 and a half. She said that she don't normally ride like this, Jay. Said you can buy her with a ride outside. 13 and a half, 14 and a half, now 15 and a half, 16 and a half, 17 and a half, and now 18 and a half, now 19 and a half, 19 and a half, 19 and a half, and now 2,000 and a half, got a new man, 19 and a half, 2,000 and a half, 2,000 and a half, 2,000 and a half, 19 and a half, now 1 and a half, 21 and a half, and now 2 and a half, 22 and a half. And now 3 and a half, 3 and a half, and now 4 and a half, 24 and a half, 5 and a half, 25 and a half, 6 and a half, 26 and a half, and now 7 and a half, 27 and a half, 27 and a half, 6 and a half, now 7 and a half, 6 and a half, now 7 and a half, 26 and a half, now 7 and a half, 27 and a half, I have. Now 8 and a half, 28 and a half, 11 and a half, 9 and a half, 8 and a half, 9 and a half, 29 and a half, 8 and a half, 9 and a half, 29 and a half, 8 and a half, 9 and a half, 8 and a half, I have sold her 28.50. Who'd you have, boys? 392.
Hip number 8, this is Diego. Again, this has been Caitlin's personal horse the last several months. She's pasture roped, played at the fun shows, trail ridden in many miles. Just a 5-year-old, stands 15.2, got good bone. He's flat-kneed, would be beautiful under English tack. He knows what a day's work is and doesn't ever say no to a job. Percher and quarter horse cross, 100% sound and 5 years old.
Said he'll be absolutely the way she said. She'll give you her number, and if you ain't no trouble. 2,500, 27 and a half, 25 and 7 and a half, 25 and 7 and a half, 25 and 7 and a half, 2,500, 7 and a half, 27 and a half, 25 and 7 and a half, 25 and 7 and a half, 27 and a half, I'm 25 and 7 and a half, now 3. Well, if he ain't exactly like, you ain't gotta call her.
Yep. She knows the difference.
2,500, 27 and a half, $3,000. Hit it in, 27 and a half, 3, now 2 and a half, and now 5, 35, 32 and a half, now 5, 5 a bit. It's 32 and a half, 5, 35, 33 and a half, 2 and a half, 3 and a half. It's 33 and a half, 32 and a half, 3 and a half, 3 and a half, 2 and a half, now 4 and a half, 34 and a half, 34 and a half, 5 and a half, 35 and a half, 35 and a half. It's 35 and a half, 35 and a half, 34 and a half, 5 and a half, 35 and a half. Sound all right every way. 34 and a half, 5 and a half. It's 35 and a half, 34 and a half, now 5 and a half, now 6 and a half, 36 and a half. I'm 35 and a half, now 6 and a half, 35 and a half, now 6 and a half, 36 and a half, 5 and a half, now 6 and a half, 36 and a half, now 7 and a half. That's 37 and a half, and now 8 and a half, 38 and a half, now 9 and a half, 39 and a half, 4 and a half. Here's 4 and a half, 1 and a half, 4 and a half, 1 and a half. Here's 41 and a half, 4 and a half, now 1 and a half, 4 and a half. I'm at about 1 and a half here. I have sold him 4,050. Buck Conway. Thank you, Caitlin.
Hip number 9 is Ethel. She'll be a 14-year-old mare, a gentle giant. She'll stay in an electric fence. She is broke to ride and drive, a sweet-minded mare and 14 years old.
So she'll go up down the trails like 1 or 2. 700, 800, 800, 800, 800, why not? All the hard work's done. 800 now half, 800 half, now half, 800 now half, 800 now half, it's 9 half, 800 now half. I'm 9, 15, but I'm 9, 15. Some horse 900, 372.
Uh-oh.
Video up. Can you see the video? Yes, my TV blanked for a minute. Is the video on? Okay, good. This is Newt. He is a 3-year-old Gypsy Vanner gelding. This gelding's got a lot of foot and a lot of feather. He is well started. He'll cross the creeks and go where he is pointed. A nice young gelding to go on with and 100% sound. Yeah, it's Shada's broke several of these gypsies to ride over the last few years. She said she's never had one that wants to turn around like this one does. If you've ridden a lot of gypsies, that is absolutely true. They'll be born gentle, but they're not usually super handy. And you watch this horse ride, he'll ride like a quarter horse.
Yeah, he'll go right through the river and all, guys. There's a pretty little 3-year-old black and white gypsy right there, and I want 15,000 pounds. 42 and a half, 5, 7 and a half, now 5,000, 2 and a half, 52 and a half here, now 5, 55. 52 and a half, 5, 55, 52 and a half, now 5, 52 and a half, 5, now 7 and a half, 55, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, 55, now 7 and a half, 57 and a half, I'm 55, 7 and a half, 57, come on, Bob, 57 and a half. I'm 55, 7 and a half. Just remember them candy bars, 57 and a half. I'm 55, 7 and a half. I'll take 56 from you. Now 7, now 57, now 57. 7. The only one like him. 56, 50, and he'll be gentle, gentle, gentle. 5,600 now, 700, 600 now, 700 now, but about 5,600 now, 700, 5,700, 600 now, 700 now, but about 5,600 now, 700 now, but about 58 now, 700, but about 700, 600 now, 700, but about 700, 57, high, high, sold 5,600, pretty on Bob.
Bob the Cop. 343.
I don't have notes on
I
511.
see you riding him up there in North Country now. 511, be a family horse.
I borrowed some down there were 5 or 6 kids behind her. She works any kind of.
Jeff said she'll work any kind of farm machinery, guys, and you can stack them on there from the front to the back.
She got some age on her, but she's relatively sound for the age she is.
7.5, 8.5, 8.5, 7.5 now, 8.5, 7.5, 800, 7.5 now, I'm gone, 7.5, 8, good, 7.5 now, 8, 9.5 here now, 9.5, 9.5, 9.5, 10.5, 10.5 here, 9.5, 10.5, 10.5, Good, 9.5, 10.5, 10.5, now 11.5, now 11.5, 11.5, Junior, you're out now, 11.5, 10.5, 11.5, you want back in, 11.5, high, high. Sold her 10.50 right over there. What's your boys' number? What is it? 1073.
Mr. Yoder, 513.
515 through 525, please line them up. 515 through 525, please line them up. This horse is
What we got?
1070 right there.
What was that?
Long yearling, 100% sound.
Still all boy?
Still all boy.
$12, 12.5. It's down to now 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 1,100. I'm down to now 1,100. It's down to 1,100 here. Who said yeah? Now 12. 11, 12, half 12, 11, half 12, 12, 11, 13, I say you make 13, quarter, half, here 12 and a quarter, 12 and a half, 12 and a quarter, 12 and a half here, how many now, half now, 75. 12 and a half, 75, 12 and a half, 75, 75, but I want a hell of a lot more for the mate. 12 and a half, 75, 12 and a half, 75, I have. Leave that on trigger, 12.50.
Pin him by himself. Pin him by himself.
I heard 50 times.
What's the number?
521. Blake.
This is Blake, a 4-year-old crossbred gelding, blood bay, and a super cool young horse. He was raised by an older lady, started under saddle and in the harness. He's still green, but a big, handsome horse, gonna make a big-time guy. 4 years old.
Bridget, that horse is still a little green on the ground. He's just 4 years old, but he's not a bronc, won't buck you off, nothing like that. Just needs roads. But
Said he's not a bronc, still a little green on the ground, and he's not gonna buck you off or anything like that. Just needs wet saddle blankets.
Blake bought this horse for us to go to Billings there in March. We couldn't get him on. He's all through the sickness. He won't get sick. He's clean-legged. There won't be no problems, and he's a baby 4-year-old.
Just 4 years old, guys.
17 and a half, $2,000. It's 17 and a half now, $2,000 now, $2,000 17 now, 2 and a half, $2,000 now, 2 and a half. I'm $2,000 now, 2 and a half, $2,000 now, 2 and a half, $2,000 now, 2 now, 3, 23 now, 4, 5. It's now 6, 26, 26, it's 26 here, 2,500.
PO. Yep.
He'll pay it back.
516.
Hip number 516 coming in is Donnie, a 4-year-old draft cross gelding. He'll stand 16 hands and be thick made. Got a good start, ready to go in any direction you want to finish him.
Said he's a good gentle colt, and he'll be sound. $1,000, 12 and a half. Yeah, down to now, 12 and a half. Brandon, you want in here? 1,100. Now 12. And now 13, 13, 12, 13, 14, 14, 13, 14, 14, and 13, 1400, 14, 13, 14, 1400, and now 1500, 1500, now 16, 16, now 1700, now 18, 18, 1800, 1800, 1800, I'm 1800, 1700, now 1800, 1800, 1700, now 1800, so be 1700. That it takes more dough.
No, so he'll give you back. $520 through $530, please line them up.
They tell you anything, Joe?
13-year-old mare broke right through the woods. Now,
$1,000, 12 and a half. $1,000 now, 12 and a half. $1,000 now, 12 and a half. 1,100. $1,000 now, 11. I'm $1,000 now, 1,100. $1,000 now, 1100. $1,000 now, 1100. $1,000 now, 11. $1,000 I got $1,000.
518 video is up, and it's a great video. Caitlin said she could write a book about her. She's just 5 years old. She's excelled in many aspects, absolutely a standout anywhere she goes, not just because of her color and her shape, but she's got a great personality, gentle, willing, and forgiving. First to you in the pasture, first to say good morning in the barn, the first one she wants to pull out when it's time to go ride. She's gentle on the ground to brush, love, shoe, and for the vet, nothing spooks her. Aside from all of that, she is a dream to ride. She loves trail obstacles, jumps, out on the trails, cross whatever you point her at. She'll go up and down all the terrain, lead, follow, ride in a group or alone. She knows all about a day's work. She's been roped off of on both the head and the heel side. They've doctored in the pasture on her, and she is an excellent pickup horse. She would make an excellent first horse for anyone. You do not have to be a family with experience to enjoy her. Absolutely sound. She saved her best one for last. We probably should get some Kleenex together because this is really special. Pay attention.
you rode her all over here for 2 days. I'll give you 7,500. You're on the money.
7,500, 8,000, 8,000, now 8,000, now 5, 8,000, now 5, 85, now 9, 95, now 10, now 5, and now 11, 10, 5, 11,000, 10, 5, 11,000, now 5, now 12. Says she'll pass the pre-purchase deal. 11,500, 12,000, 12,000 now 5. 12,500, 12,000 now 5. 12,000 now 5. 12,000 now 5. Who said it? 12,500, 13,000, 12,500, 13,000, 13,000 here. 12,500, 13,000. Promise you'll drive the wheels off one of them damn trucks trying to find one that looks like her.
And rides like her.
And rides like her. And gentle. Said they're building the house, guys. That's the only reason that mare's here. 12,500, 13,000. Now 5. 13,500. 13,000, 13,500, hit it to be a 13,000, but now 5, hit it to be a 13,500, hit it to be a 13,000, but now 5, hit 13,000, but now 5, hit it to be a Ronnie Boy, I'm going to 13,500, hit it to be a 13,000, but now 5, hit it to be a 13,500, I'm 13,000, but now 5, hit it to be a 13,500, hit it to be a 13,000, but now 5, 5, 5, 5, hit it to be a 13,500, I'm 13,000, but now 5, hit it to be a 13,500.
Don't be scared of her because she's fine. She's sure enough a good.
She's a good one, guys.
She'll work anywhere you take her.
Said she'll work anywhere you take her. 13,000, 13,500. It'll be a 13,000, it'll now 5, it'll be a 13,500. I'm 13,000, it'll now 5, it'll be a 13,500. Here I go. What about Buck Conway? She's his kind. 13,000, it'll now 5, 13,500. It'll be a 13,000, it'll now 5, it'll be a 13,500. It'll be a 13,000, it'll now 5 here. 13,500. Said it takes 15,000 for her, and I don't blame her, guys. She's got one hell of a nice mare.
This is Kim K. She is a 9-year-old Frisian cross mare, 15 one hands, absolutely sound. She'll ride down the roads, through the creeks. You can drag calves to the fire on her. Honest, broke, and easy to get along with.
And 100% sound. 1,500, 17 and a half, and it'll be 15 and a half, I'm gone, and it'll be 15 and a half, 17 and a half, I'm 15 and a half, 17 and a half, and it'll be 17 and a half, and it'll be 15 and a half, 17 and a half, and it'll be 15 and a half, 1,600, 1,600, now 1,700, it'll be 17 and a half, 16 and a half, 17, it's 17, and it'll be 18, and it'll be young lady, and about 19, and it'll be 19, and 18, and 1900, it's 1,900, and it'll be 18, and 19, and it'll be 18, and 19. 1900, 1900, 1900, you give a half, Jerry boy, I'm about 18 and a half, but I'm now 19, young lady, I'm now half. We're 19 and a half, 19, now half. Going to sell her when you're done, 19. 19 and a half, Bob, but it'll be a 19 and a half, now $2,000 sis, and now half, it'll be a 2,000 and a half, here's 2,000 and a half, 21, it'll be now half, it'll be 1 and a half, now 2, it'll be now half, it'll be now 3, it'll be now half, it'll be now 4, I'm about 4, 23 and a half, and 4, it'll be now half, it'll be 4 and a half, 4 and a half, now 5, it'll be 25, now half, it'll be 5 and a half, it'll be, come on, Bob, 25, 5 and a half, I'm 25, 5 and a half, it'll be 5, it'll be now half, here, did you, 25 and a half, 6, did you, now 6, now half, it'll be 6 and a half, 600, now half, here, I'm about 7, it'll be now half, it'll be 27 and a half, here's 27 and a half, half, it'll be 7, it'll be now 7 and a half, it'll be 27, 7 and a half, been turned out all winter, guys. 27, 7 and a half, it'll be 7, it'll be now 7 and a half, it'll be 7, it'll be now 7 and a half, now weed, it'll be now half, it'll be 8 and a half, it'll be now 3, it'll be 3,000, it'll be now 2, 32, it'll be 3, it'll be now 2, it'll be 32, it'll be 3, it'll be now 2, it'll be number 2, it'll be 3,000, it'll be now 2, sold her $3,000, put her on Buck Conway.
Same deal, sits on the phone, so 4%.
Oh my.
I'll confirm. Thank you.
This is Blue Jeans. Blue Jeans is a 3-year-old quarter draft, 3/4 quarter horse cross mare. That's a mouthful. She's had an excellent start on her, gentle as they come. She'll walk up to you in the pen and loves to be your friend. A real sweetheart.
2,000, 2,500, it's 2,000 now 25, it'll be 2,000 now 5, it'll be 2,000 now 5, it'll be 25, it'll be 2,000 now 1, and then 2,000 now 1, it'll be now 2, it'll be 22, 3 now 3, 3, 3, 3, it'll be 23, it'll be 2, it'll be now 4, and about 24 now 5, it's 25, now 6, now 7, it'll be 27, it'll be 6, it'll be now 7, 27, Brady boy, it'll be 7, it'll be now 6, it'll be. Sherry said this mare rides really good outside, and you'll catch her anywhere. 27, 28, 29, internet, 29, 29 internet, 28 down there, 28 down there, 29 sold it on the internet, 2,900.
You got her, Bill. 10,000's the buyer. 10,000.
Pretty much.
Very pretty.
Let's go ahead
How many
and put
drafts
it in
was that?
70 also.
Do we have the paper? Are they in the truck? Okay, no worries.
Deja Blue, papers are in the truck, but I believe we know the owners, so it should not be a problem. He is a 4-year-old registered Brabant gelding. He has been ridden all spring in the mountains of Colorado, very well started, got a great way of moving, a flowing lope, gentle to be around, ready for a full-time job. And again, he is registered, 4 years old.
I packed him, I ponied him out there.
Packed him, ponied him out there.
He'll lope off as short as you want to.
He said he'll short lope off as easy as you want to.
Mom wanted to ride him in.
Nice mover, really nice mover. And he has seen a lot of big country.
I was gonna say, when he said he packed him, he was out there in them mountains for the last year or two, guys. There's a hell of a nice horse. 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 7,000, 7,000. Did you get it? 7,500. Bobby Joe said he'll be in your pocket.
Kip, did you get 7,000?
I thought you did. 6,000, 6,500. Now 5, now 7, 7, now 5, 75. Good 75, 75, 75, 75, registered and young. I'm 7,500 now he $10, now he $10, now he 8,000, 75 now he $10 here.
We're gonna sell him when you get done, because I just bought him for cactus to go out there and use, but he cost $6,900 in here this winter when he was poor as a snake and had hair that long, and he did not ride, not one step.
Help yourself right
The
here.
next one sold, but he might be the cheapest horse we sell today.
7,500, $8,000. 7,500 now he. 7,500 now 7.5. 7,500 now 7, 77, 76, 77, now 8, Bob, 78, now 9, 79, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 79, 79, 8,000, now 1, 81, 81, 8,000, now 1, 8,000, why not, 8,000, now 1, 81, 8,000, now 1, 8,000, now 1, so we made $1,000. Was that 343, Bob? 343.
Yep.
Leona DNG is a 2010 model registered Halflinger mare. She is by Archimedes Rath, CAF, by Archimedes Van Seedrift, CAF. She is out of a daughter of a trend maker, NTF, by Afghan III, NTF. 2010 model.
Rides and drives. Rides and drives.
Belongs to Mr. Ted, broke to ride, broke to drive. Him and his wife was going home, guys. He said mail the check, said that'd be a good little Halflinger mare. 12 and a half, 1,500. You're now 17 and a half. I got Randy, 15, 17 and a half. Now 2, Randy boy. I'm going to do 18 and a half. I'll take now 19 and a half. Landed. Here now I've got 2,000 and a half. And now 1 and a half. 21 and a half. Landed. 2,000 and a half. 1 and a half. 21 and a half. 2,000 and a half. 1 and a half. 2 and a half. Get 22 and a half. Now 3 and a half. 23 and a half. About 22 and a half, 3 and a half, 2 and a half, 3 and a half, 22 and a half, 3 and a half, 23 and a half, 2 and a half, 3 and a half, 23 and a half, 2 and a half, 3 and a half, here I am. Now 4 and a half. Now 4 and a half, 6, 24 and a half, now 5 and a half, 25 and a half, now 6 and a half, about 26 and a half, now 7 and a half, 27 and a half, 27 and a half, 6 and a half, now 7 and a half, 6 and a half, 27 and a half, 27 and a half, who said it? Now 8 and a half, 28 and a half, registered, 28 and a half, now 9 and a half, 9 and a half, 3 and a half, 3 and a half, 3 and a half, 3 and a half, 1 and a half, 31 and a half, 1 and a half, 3 and a half, 1 and a half, 31 and a half, 3 and a half, 1 and a half. Solar 3,050 put her on Buckdown Waiters and Papers. I thought you was done. Sorry about that.
These are Meg and Peg, and they are coming 2-year-old draft cross fillies. As you can see, halter broke, Silver Bay, and you talk about fancy ladies right here.
Oof. How you want to sell them, Roy? Choice
Sell
filly.
choice
Take one or
filly.
both.
1,500, 17 and a half. Your choice. You can take one or both of them. 1,500 now, 17 and a half. If 1,500 now, 17 and a half. 1,500 now, 17 and a half. 17 and a half. 1,500 now, 17 and a half. 1,500 now, 17 and a half. 1,500 now, 16. 1,600. 1,600 now, 17. 1,600 now, 17. 1,700. 1700 and 16, 17, and 1700 1700. Two times the money, 16, 17, 17, 17 now, 18, 17 and a half, 18 now, half, 18 and a half. Come on, you started this. 1,800 now, half. 1,800 now, half, 1,800 now, half, here, half. So 1,800 times 2, put them on number 10, 14, 10, 14.
Thanks, Roy. Cute fillies.
Empty pen, please, empty pen.
This is John. He'll be a 16-hand Appaloosa draft cross gelding. 6 years old, been up and down the road, through the woods and the water. He would make a really cool ranch horse.
$5, 12 and a half. Yes, 12 and a half. 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 11 I'm going down the now, half it, half, half it, half, yes, down the now, half it, half, I'm down the here's out, half it, half, now 11, 10 and a half, 1,100, Ernie, your man's out, 10 and a half, 11, now, half it, 11 and a half. 11 and a half, 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 half, 11 and a half, 11 and a half,
Yep.
now 12, now 12, 11 and a half, 12 and a bit, sewing on the internet, 11, 15.
Got him, Bill. 10,000, your buyer. 10,000.
120, 120, 120.
I don't have any.
Rides, drives, kids safe, 12-year-old, half-liner buyers.
$7, 12 and a half. It's $10 now, 12 and a half. It's $10 now, 12 and a half. It's $10 now, 1100. 1100 now, 12. It's now 13. 13 now, 14. 14 now, 13 now, 1400. It's 13 now, 1400. 14 now, 14. 1400. And 13 now, 14. 14 13 now, 14. And 13, 14. So we're 1,300, turn on 318, 318.
That one got the side.
808, The white horse is gonna go to 120.
So you have two of these mares, both are registered. The papers for one of them is here. The other ones, if you leave your address in the office, we will mail them to you Monday morning. But registered Belgian mares, I don't have, this is the one that we don't have the papers on. She'll be a early teenager, early to mid. She's not a late teenager.
$1,000, 1,100. It's $11. Be broke to work, and the guys, and they'll be Gentile. $1,000, 1,100. Jerry boy, 1,100. Yep, Sold her $1,000, put her on 3, 1, 3.
Couldn't tell you, man. That's a secret.
126, 126, 126.
Oh my.
Boys, what pin?
Hey!
Oh my.
What pin's on your paper?
35 has been worked single and double. 34 has been worked double. And both 4 years old. Both little gildings. Sell choice of them ponies. Both 4 years old, both gilded. 1,500, 1,600. 1,600. Said they'll tack right up, guys. Harness up, tack up, whatever. 15, 16. Sell them 2 times the money. 12 and a half, 13 and a half, 13 and a half, 12 and a half, now 13 and a half, 13 and a half, 13 and a half, 12 and a half, now 13 and a half, now 14 and a half, 14 and a half. I'm 13 and a half, 14 and a half, 14 and a half. I got Caitlin in, 13 and a half, 14 and a half. I'm 13 and a half, 14 and a half, 14 and a half, 13 and a half, 14 now half. And now 15, 14 and a half, now 15, 1500, 14 and a half, 15, 14 and a half, now 15, 14 and a half, now 15, 14 and a half, now 15, I have 14 and a half, 15, 1500, I have. Sold them 14, 50 times 2. Put them on. 10, 13.
Empty pen, please. Empty pen.
Yearling filly,
The yearling filly
Percheron stud, a quarter mare.
out of Percheron stud, a quarter mile. 500, 600, 1,000, 12 and a half, 12 and a half, cheese, you're out, $1,000, 12 and a half, 12 and a half, $1,000, 1,100, 12, I'm 12, 13, 13, 12 and a half, 13, 13, 12 and a half, 13, I'm 12 and a half, 13, 13, you say half, 12 and a half, 12 and a half, 12 and a half, 12 and a half, now 13. Now 13, 12 and a half, 13, 12 and a half. There's a whale of a filly right there. 12 and a half, 1,300. 1,300.
Peter, you were in at 12. The floor came in at 12 and a half. You got to be 13. Yeah.
13 and a half, 13 and a half. Sold her 1,300 on the net.
You got her, Peter. 10058. 10058.
This is Cisco, a 3-year-old, 15-3 hand giraffe cross gelding, flashy, loud-colored, and exceptionally good-minded. He's gentle, ready to start in any direction, athletic, versatile. They own his full brother, who is a great ranch horse, and now an exceptional fox hunter. These horses are some of the best giraffe crosses.
I bought him right here off of Cecil when he was a yearling. I bought his full brother off Cecil. I give Cecil $16,000 for his full brother.
Peter, I'm going to take that out. I'm thinking that that's an accident there.
3,200 for him sitting right here. He's a yearling. I kicked him out. We got him up last week. Put the halter on, load him on a trailer. We haven't tried him. He's gentle. He's sound. He has no bad habits. He's been running there at the house for 2 years. Already gilded. No lumps, no bumps. A good colt. Step right up on the horse trailer. Leave him tied there forever. If you want to, the other horse is moving around. He's ready to start. He is not a pro. He ain't no deal when we tried him. He bumped everybody off.
He bumps the
never
camera,
tried
okay.
him. I bought him right here when he was a yearling, and this is the first time he's been anywhere since. 3 years old. 1,500.
1,500, 17 and a half. 1,500, 17 and a half. 17 and a half. 17 and a half. 17 and a half. 15 and a half. I'm gone. 16 and a half. 1600. 17. 1700. Sir said he stood absolutely like a gentleman outside.
He is shaking. He's scared.
He's just scared to death in here. That colt's okay. Get him outside. If you don't handle okay outside,
16 and a half, 1700, 1700 now high, 17 and a half, 1700 now high, 17 and a half now, 18 now high, 18 and a half, 18 now high, 18 and a half, 18 now high, 18 and a half, 1800 now high, 1800 now high, 18 and a half, now 19, 1900. Said he'll take 2,500 for him while he's here.
Sarah, bring it back. He's in.
537. And I've been raising colts out of this mare.
Les been raising colts out of this mare.
Some of my best colts have come out of this mare, but she's been open for 2 years in a row. I'm going to sell her. The vet, we just had her vet check. Said, I've had so many colts where she has, she's dipped in the back, but she is broke to ride, but she's had some of the best colts I've ever seen.
Peter, you had a bid come in on this lot, and I was thinking it was accidental since there was no information there. If you meant to, you are welcome to replace it. I just wanted to make sure that you meant it.
I'm 6 and a quarter, 6 and a half, 6 and a half, and now 75, 675. I'm 6 and a half, 75, 7, now quarter, now half, now 75, now 8, 75, 8, 800 now, quarter, 8 and a quarter, 8 and a half, 8 and a half, 75, now 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, yeah, Johnny, now quarter, 900 now, quarter, 900, 9 and a quarter, 900 now, 9 and a quarter, 9 and a quarter, 9 and a quarter, 9 and a quarter, 1 in, 9 and a quarter, 9 and a half. 9 and a half, $1,000, $10 and a half, 11, 10 and a half, 1,100 high, over 1,050, put her on, 365.
Hello. Hello. No.
706.
No.
2010 model registered Belgian mare. She's by Anvil Ring Cyclone by Y Point Mike DeBrule and out of a daughter of Melody Acres Sir John. 2010 model, broke to work, broke to ride.
$1,000, 12 and a half. It's $1,000 now, 12 and a half. It is $1,000 now, 12 and a half. It is $1,000 now, 12 and a half. It's $1,000 now, 12 and a half. It is 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 $1,000 now, 1,100. It's $1,000 now, 1,100. It is $1,000 now, 1,100. It is $1,000 now, 1,100. It is $1,000 now, 1,100. It's $1,000 now, 1,100. It is 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 $1,000. I got it. It is $1,000 now, 1,100. I'm $1,000, 1,100. It is $1,100. It is $1,000 now, 1,100. $13,000.
126, 126, 126.
Oh my.
Gordon, what do you find here?
This is Rusty.
This is Rusty.
He's 5 years old.
He's 5 years old.
Got him from the Amish up there in Kansas last fall. They had half a dozen kids, no kids. They had a half a dozen kids riding. one into the other.
So there's a half a dozen kids riding him when he got him.
They drove him on the carts and everything.
He's been on the carts.
So I bought him for a single driving horse. When I got him home, I was so proud of myself. When I got him home, my wife said, he's the wrong color for our trade. So here he is.
And naturally, you being the gentleman you are, you're selling the horse instead of getting chewed out by the wife.
He'll be the gentlest thing you ever been around.
Gordy said he'll be absolutely gentle.
And I think anybody can sit up there on him and sure as hell ride him if they can get on. I can't get on.
I know that man most of my life.
He's nice, he is.
Whatever he's told you about him be 1,000%. 3,500, $4,000. Hit it at the 3,500 now for it. I'm 3,500 now for it. Hit it at the 3,500 now 7.5. Hit it at the 37.5. I'm 35.7. You couldn't buy it from a better guy, I promise you. 3,500 now 7.5. Hit 3,500 now 7.5. Here I'm gone. Hit it at the 3,500 now 7.5. I'm 35.6. Hit it at the 36. 36. Even an old man like you can ride him. You got me 6, 36. I got 36 now, 7, now 8, 38, 38, 38, now 9, now 4, 4,000. Now 1, 41, 4,000, now 1, 41, 4,000, now 1, 41, now 2, 43, now 4. I'm 44. I'm 43 now. 4 now. 5. 45. 5. 45. And now 6. 46. Now 7. 47. I'm 46 now. 7. You wish you had a 46 now. 7. 47. Gordon said you'll love that horse when you get him home. 4,600. 700. And he'll love you back. 600, 700, hit it now 800, hit it at 4,800, hit it at 800, hit it at 800, hit it now 900, hit it at 49, 48 now 9, hit it at 9, hit it at 48 now 9, hit it at 9, hit it at now 9, hit it at 49, hit it at now 9, hit it at now 5,000, $5,000, $5,000, now 1, 51, $5,000, 51, hit it at 500, hit it now 1, hit it at 51, hit it at 500, now 1, hit it.
Guarantee it was a pretty damn expensive lesson to me. And it's too bad I didn't paint him black.
You're going to sell him because your wife told you to sell him. 51, 5,000 now 1, 51, 5,000 now 1, 51, 5,000 now 1, now 2, 52, now 3, 53, 52, now 3, 53. I have sold him 5,200 Johnny's way. Buck Conley. Be 5 or 6 years old. He's come right out of the West, guys. He's been working for a living. Be sound and shot all the way around right there. 2,500, $3,000. Hit it at the 25 and now 7.5. Hit it at the 25 and now 7.5. Hit it at the 25 and now 7.5. Hit it at the 7.5. I'm 25, 7.5. Hit it at the 7.5. Hit it at the 5 and now 6. Hit it at the 26 and now 5 and now 6 and now 26 and now 5 and now 6. Good. 26 here. Hit it at the 5 and then take it at the 25 and now 6 and at the 26 and the 5 and now 6. I'm 26. Hit it at the 5 and now 6 and at the 26 and now 5 and now 6 and at the 25 now 6. Good. 26 here. Hit it at the 5. There's a nice big young horse. 2,500, 2,600, hit it at the 25 and now 600 but about 25 and now 600, 2,600 but about 5 and now 600 but about 5 and 600. I have sold him 2,500, 313. Ten years old.
126, 126, 126.
Been a ranch horse his whole life, and they picked up broncs and shag bulls on him now. Right here. Don't worry about the girl, you better worry about the horse. Boys, 1400, 1500, I told you, 1400, 1500, 1500, 1400, 1500, I got him, 1400, 1500, 1500, 1400, 1500, 1500, I done gotta be 1500 now, 1600 now, 15 and a half, 1600, Johnny's out, 1600, 1600, 15 and a half, 16 now, half, 16 and a half, now 17, now half, 17 and a half, it's 17, 17 and a half, 17 and a half, it's 17 and a half, 17 and a half, 17 and a half, 17 and a half, I'm 1700, 17 and a half, I have, so 1700, 365.
Come
19-year-old, she's half per 9 years old, half per children.
706.
She is exposed to his Bouvant stud. Said she'll have an October, November baby. She broke the right and drive. 500, 600, yeah, 500 now, 600 now, but about 500 now, 600 now, but I'm going half and now 600 now, half, 600 now, half, 600 now, half, now 700, 700, 600 now, 700 now, but I'm going to 700, it's 700, 700 now, 700 now, but I'm 700, 600 now, 700. I'm 700, 700, I know 700, 700, but I'm 700. I'm thinking I know 700, 700, but I'm thinking I know 700, 700, but I'm thinking I know 700, 700, 700, I have. Sold her 650, put her up. Said it takes $1,000.
This is 2 years old. 5 years old, he's broke the drive.
5 years old, he's broke the drive, and he's been road.
He drives 100%.
Said he drives 100%.
And he's super gentle. If you're out there, he won't leave you alone. He'll be right with you.
Said he'll be in your hip pocket. 500, 600, 600, 700, 700, 800, 800, 700, 800 here. I'm over here now. 800 now, half, 950, 10, half, 10 now, 11, 10 and a half, 1100 here, 11, I'm now half, 11 now, half, 11 now, half, 11 now, half, 1100 now, half, 11 half here, now 12, 11 half, now 12, 11 half, now 12, and now half, 12 and a half, you're all out, I'm over here, 12, I'm over here, 12 and a half, I'm now 13 now, half, and you're still out, 1300 now, half here now, 1400, 1400, 1400, and now half, 14 and a half, now 1500, 1500, and now half, 15 and a half here now, 16, 1600 now, half, 16 and a half, now 1700, 1700, 16 and a half, now 1700, I'm 16 and a half, 17 now, half, 17 and a half, half, 17 and a half, pretty pony, 1700 now, half, 1700 now, half, I have. Sold him 1700, 339. Now sell his harness right there. 60, 75, and now 85, 95, 95, 95, 105, now 15, now 25, 125, 35, 45, 145, 55, 55, 155. And now 65, now 75, 175, 175, 175. You're all out. 175, 165, 75, 75, high, hop. 165, 388. Just hand it to that man right there.
Make him pack it, Gordy. Thank you, Gordon.
540, he's got more, don't worry, he's got a pretty 549.
13-year-old Gilda. Broke to ride, broke to drive. Drive single and double. Safe, gentle horse. 700, 800. I'm 700 now, 800 now, 7 half, 800, 7 high now, 800, I'm 7 half, 800. 7.5 now, 8 now, half, 8.5 now, 9, sir, 900, 9.5, sir. 9.5 now, 10, sir. Hit it to the 10, to the 10, to the 10, 10, 10, 10. I'm 9, 15, 10. Hit it to the 10, to the 10, to the 10, 9, 10, 10, to the 10, 9, 10, 10, to the 10, to the 10, 9, 10, 10, to the 10, 1,000. 9, $50,000. Hit it to the 10,000. Here I have now half, pound half, $1,000, $1,000. Your way, $1,000 now half. He'll drive or ride. $1,000, $1,500. Hit it to the $1,000 now half, half, half. Hit it to the $1,000 now half. $1,500. Hit it to the $1,000 now half. Hit it to the now 11. 11. Now half. 11 half. Hit it to the 11 now half. 11 now half. Hit it to the 11 half. 11 now half. So in 1100, 365.
This horse will go to 706, 706, 706.
It's 550. It's a 17-year-old gelding.
Be a 17-year-old gelding.
He's a retired carriage horse.
Retired carriage horse.
He rides, he drives single, double, and he is sweet.
He rides, works single or double, and he rides, and he's sweet. 5.5, 600. If 5 I'm gonna get a man. 5 600. But I'm 5 600. And now half. And now 7. Now half. And now 8. And now half. And now 9. And now 9. 8, 15, now 9. 8, 15, 9. So we made 50. 683, 9, 689. Little 4-year-old mare. They've been pushing cattle on her and using her as a little pickup horse. Said absolutely anybody can ride her. Said he had her teeth floated last week and she's sound in every way. $1,000, 12.5. It's down to now 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 1,100. It's down to now 11. It's down to now 11. It's down to now 11. I'm down to now 11. I'm down to 1,100. It's down to now 11. It's down to now 11. But I'm now half now 12. Now 12. It's 10.5, 11.5, now 12.5, 12.5, now 13.5, 13.5 here, and now 14.5, 14.5, 14.5, I'm 30. I got him 14.5, 14.5, now but about 1,400 now half, 1,400 now half, send him but about 14.5, 14.5, 1,400 now half, now 15, now half, now 16.5, 16.5, 17.5, 18.5. 18.5, 18.5, now 19.5, 19.5, 19 now 2, 19 now 2, 19 now 2, $7, 19 now 2, 19 now 2, $7, 19 now 2, $2, you're back in, Kip, 2,000, now 1, 21, 2, $7, now 1 and a bit. She'd be a broke little mare. 2021. 21. 2,388. So it takes 2,500 for her while she's here. You bet. Two years old. Both of them down. Ready to go. 6.5, 700. Is 700 and a now half now. 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, now half, and another 8, half, and another 8, now half, and a quarter half, and another 8, half, and another 8, half. 3 and a half, and another 8, half, and another 8, half, and another 8, half, and another 9, and another 8, half, and another 8, half, 9. 8, 15 down half, and another 8, and another 8, this thing's gonna get big. 8, 15, 9, 9, 75, down 9, 9, you get 9, down quarter, quarter, 900, 9 quarter, high half, 9 quarter, Sold him 900. Put him on Cactus. 10-16, 10-16. Order line, was you?
10, please, I need a 50 pen for them.
Oh my, looky here.
Okay, we got a 5-year-old draft cross gelding.
5-year-old draft cross.
We've had him a couple of months, been riding him. He's just started good, not finished, but started good, but pretty as a picture.
He is a pretty horse. 5,500, 6,000. Then another 5,500 now, 6,000 over here. 5,500 now, $6,000 here. Hit another 5,500 now, 6,000. Another 5,500 now, 6,000. Another 5,500 now, 7.5. I'm 55, 7.5. Another 5,500 now, 7.5. Another 55 now, 7.5. Another 55 now, 7.5. I'm 55, 7.5. Another 57.5. Another 55 now, 7.5. Another 55 now, 6. 56. Another 55 now, 6. Another 55 now, 6. Here, I'm going to 56. 56. Here, I'm going to buy it a bit now, 6. 56.
If somebody will take him home this summer, spend the summer on him, they'll double their money what you got on him right now in the fall. Easy.
Promise you. 55, 6. 56 here.
100% sound, and he's the next horse sold.
He's 100% sound. They're going to sell him. 5,500, 5,600 here. 5,600 here. 55 now, 56 here. I'm going to buy it a bit now, 6. Bob, what about you? 56. I'm 55 now, 6. He's a loud color paint. 55 now, 56 here. I'm going to buy it a bit now, 6. I have. Selling 5,500. 995.
30-13 right now.
My God, this thing here is broke for anybody. That's what I'm saying. The little foxtrot horse. $5, 12.5. $8 now, 12.5. $11 now, 1,100. $11 now, 1100. $11 now, 1,100. $11 now, 1,100. Be gentle. The foxtrot. $1,000, $5.5. $11 now, half. $11 now, 11. $11 now, 11. It's 10 and a half, 1,100. 1,100. It's only 1,050. Is that 344?
Thank you, Mr. Clark. Heavy on the mister.
There's 4 of these draft coats.
Before these draft cross babies,
All of them are set 122.
they all just turned 2 and they're all still all boys. Vaccinated, wormed and all. They were 24 weeks ago. $1,000, 12.5. $10 now, 12.5. $11 now, 12.5. $11 now, 12.5. 1,100. $11 now, 1,100. $11 I'm gone. I'm sold him $1,000. Put him on 360.
You bet, Caitlin. Be good, sweetie.
$122 on that one, $119 on the next one.
This is Bella.
This would be Bella.
She's 16 years old.
She's 16 years old.
Come off a little farm up there at the edge of Nebraska. old man had her. He quit riding her. He hadn't probably rode her for 3-4 years. She ran 2 or 3 colts for him, but she said she was a gated.
Said she's gated. $1,000, 12 and a half. It's $10 now, 12 and a half. It is $100 now, 1100. It is $100 now, 1100. It is $100 now, 100. It is $100 now, 1100. It is $100 now, 500. It's $1,000, 1100. It is $1100. It is $100 now, 1100. It is $100 now, 100. It is $1100. It is $100 now, 500. It's $100 now, 1100. It is $100 now, 1100. It is $100 now, 500. It is $100 now, 1100. It is $500. I'm $1,000, 1100. It is $100 now, 1100. It is $1100. I have $13,000.
Empty pen, please. I need an empty pen.
Oh my. I'm gonna do your mic at. I turned mine on. Oh, perfect.
2 hands, drive, single or double. 5 point drafting horse at Wisconsin State Fair. Gentle for the whole family. The sound.
You can't even read.
I know.
As long as the lady right here, there's a big deal for
Nice big pretty dapple gray horse right here. 2,500, 27 half. Everybody is 2,500 now, 7 half. Everybody is 2,500 now, 7 half. Everybody is 2,500 now, 7 half. It's 75, 7 half. I'm gone. 2,500, 600. It's 2,500 now, 600. Everybody is 500 now, 600. 26. It's 25 now, 600. 25 now, 600. 25 now, 600. 25 now, 6. Good 6 here. 25 now, 600. 25 now, 600. I'm 26. I have 25, 6. Somebody 2,500. Oop, how much you need here, man? Takes 3,500.
He's a no, sir.
Trip. Bridget.
I don't have my mic on because I have to hold it the whole time. Got turned on.
Be a 7-year-old 14-hand gelding. Rope horse will work the head or the heel side. Blast to ride for the whole family with no bad habits and sound.
$1,000, 1,100. I'm 15, 16, 1600. Yes, 1600. And 1600 here I have. Sold the horse 1,500. Pretty much. Nope. How much you need here, man? Where long wings off.
557. Ernie, who'd you have on the
Riley.
second one coming in? Was it Gray Horse?
Yeah.
Or quarter?
Yep.
2,500.
689 on the big gray draft horse for 2,500.
Okay.
They come with the buckskin and white one. $1,000, 12 and a half. $1,000 now, 12 and a half. $1,000 now, 12 and a half. $1,000 now, 12 and a half. It's 700 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 now, 12 and a half. I'm down to 1100. It's 700 now, 1100. It's 700 now, half. It's 700 now, 1100. It's 700 now, 1100. It's 700 now, half. 1100 minimum 700 now, 1100. It's 700 now, half. It's 1100. 10 and a half, 11. I'm 10 and a half now, 1100, 10 now, 1100, 10 now, 1100, 10 now, half. I'm 10, 15, 1100, 10 to the 1100, about 10 now, 1100, 10 now, 1100, I have. Sold 10, 50, 3, 6, 2, on 10, 16. You want to know, sir? Takes this coat right here. Sell the black coat, $1,000, $1,500. It's $1,000 now, half. It's $1,000 now, $1,000 now, half. It's $1,000 now, half. It's $1,000 now, half, half. It's $1,000 now, 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 half. Here, hey, half. $1,000, 313.
You got left right now. Just
For
7
real?
more. Just 7 more. How many tabs are there?
809 in the hole, 809.
This is Queenie.
809.
Turned 2 years old last week. I raised
She turned 2 weeks old last week. Gordy raised her.
Got her mom at home. She's a spotted Belgian. I hauled that mare up to Cody, Wyoming, and I bred her to a full-blood blue road Gypsy Van Ear. And this is what I got. So she's half Gypsy Van Ear and Belgian.
She's half Gypsy and Belgian.
And I just got her in a couple weeks ago and tied her up. I haven't handled her much. She's going to be a big bear.
I have no idea. We need the number.
There isn't one.
How many did you say?
18.
Thank you.
547,
547.
1800, 1900, 1800 now, 1900, 1800 now, 1900 now, 1800 now, 19 now, 2. 1900, 1800 now, 1900. I got all the money. 1800 now, 1900. 1800 now, 1900, 1800 now, 1900, 1900, 1800 now, 1900 now, 2. And now 1. 21, 2, now 1, 21. Good, 2, now 1, 2, now 1, 2, Ernie boy, you're out. 2, now 1, 2,
But I went up and bought her mother about 3-4 years ago. When I went out to look at her, the boy was loping her down the gravel road in front of his house with no bridle on her. Her mother just broke to death. She could be the same way.
Gordy said she won't be that hard to break. 2 down on an L1. Hit 2 down on an L1. 21. Sold her $2,000. 368. She'll have a saddle on tomorrow, Gordy.
Thank you, Gordon. Good to see you, my friend.
An empty pin, please, an empty pin.
Another one of them horse coats. Wow.
$1,000, 1100. It's $1,000, 313.
See you, Danny Clark.
Bye, Danny.
This horse is gonna go to 809, 809, 809. I need to know where the last horse is. Boys, we need to check those gates on the east end of the barn and make sure they're locked. Don't load out on the east end.
700, 800. It's 700 now, 800, 700 now, 800, 800, 800, 800, now, heat, 700 now, heat. 700 now, heat, 700 now, 800, 700 now, heat, 800, so 700, 317.
Can you tell me what the last word said? 605, thank you.
I don't know.
54, 54. Howard and Sorley, can you check the gates on the east end of the barn and make sure the chains are out and they're locked?
Hey, put that last bolt back off for 1,000 on 75.
I can't, I've already doubled, you have to go in the office.
I got two.
Wait a minute, which colt?
It was
That
two
last one.
ago, so I can't
Which
bring it
one?
back up. Which one?
Sorrel colt for $1,000, paint colt for $1,000.
The paint coat
Stud
is
colt?
different.
Yeah,
Yes.
Fire what?
360.
Can't see that number.
Same price?
Yep.
Okay. It's in the other pin already, but
Grandma.
54.
$400, 4.5. Hit, 400, 4.5, 400, now, 4.5, 400 now, half, 400 now, 4.5, 400 now, half. Hit, 4, 15.